Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark. This very special After Dark tonight, episode 56, 21st of August 2021. Mikey Sutton here, Geekosity Mag, here to drop some fire. Absolute bombs. We're talking Death Star level stuff here. Star Wars, Disney Plus, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, Slave One, and some fake movie news. All coming up right now. Hollywood After Dark. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to a very special episode of Hollywood After Dark. I was not planning on going live tonight, actually. Tonight was going to be my night off. I was all set to sit at home and play video games in my underwear and, you know, do some other stuff that adults do when people aren't around. You know, I'm not going to get into details. But then, of course, my friend Mikey hits me up and he's like, what are you doing tonight, man? What are you doing? You want to talk some Star Wars like you were meant to last night? And, of course, I can't turn Mikey Sutton down. I can't turn him down. Today is the 1 year anniversary of GeekosityMag.com. It's also the 2-year anniversary of when Mikey here confirmed a scoop that broke the net that Spider-Man was back in the MCU, that not all was lost, that hope was restored. And today's been a good day for Mikey. So before we bring him in, because he's in the back room right now, I got to do a couple little things real quick. As always here, want to give a shout out to the channel members. Brand new member right as we were going live, Simon Section. I added him to the list in a matter of seconds because that's how fast I am. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the channel, keeping this thing afloat. If you want to help support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is now streamelements.com/3bucktheater/tip. It saves giving YouTube 30%. It's just an idea. I want to give it a shot. And anyone who donates throughout the course of this month, whether it's a channel member, whether it is a patron, whether it is a tipster, you guys can enter in to win some 4K duck titties. That's right, folks. Howard the Duck 4K. Awesome movie. Excellent film. 4K. Great restoration. Coming to you end of this month. Get in on the action. Miss minutes. Fucking demands it. I'm kidding. I love you guys. And also, if you want to watch the latest episode of Podio Commentary, District 9 is up on youtube.com/Podio Commentary. That's my shilling for right now. I try to get it under 30 seconds. I try to be quick. I try to be fast. Trust me, the only person out there I'm faster with is my girlfriend. But in the meantime, let's bring in Mikey Sutton himself. Mikey, how's it going?
Man, I feel honored, Matt, that you're talking to me instead of watching porn. I mean, what greater honor than
well, you know, I can multitask. I'm not on camera. So anything can happen, Mikey. Anything can happen. All right. Like, it's a very good microphone. It doesn't pick up much if I don't want it to. You have no idea what I'm doing over here on the other side of this thing. And you know what? It's that mystery that I believe keeps things afloat here on Hollywood After Dark. I don't know if you listened to it last night. I know you were busy. But
I did hear the replay. And
yeah, you heard like the duck. We tied the conversation about the anatomy of ducks for like a solid 3 minutes.
I was gonna say, are you jerking up in duck porn right now?
No, I'm not quackers for it. I'll tell you that much. But really, it's just like, you know, I mean, how often in life, and I'm just gonna reiterate a joke, but how often in life do I get to sit there in the moment and actually say, choose your own adventure, vagina, and have it be somewhat anatomically correct for a duck?
Can you imagine how popular that episode would be if you had that in your headline, right? I mean, dude, everybody would watch that episode just to see what the hell you're talking about, you know?
I know. I like to do that, though. I mean, I'm not lying. We had a lot of interaction on last night's episode in the post discussion. I think there was almost about 1,000 comments even during the entire live stream last night from people. It wasn't all related to the anatomy of a duck's vagina, but it was definitely an interactive experience, and I loved it. It was great. And then, of course, you know, you hit me up today and you're like, hey, let's talk Star Wars. And you know me, I love to talk Star Wars. So I'm like, all right, I'll take the night off. I'll dive right on in, and we'll definitely do this.
Whoa.
So
I know you like to poke the bear, Matt. So there's a couple.
I love
of
to poke the bear. I love to poke the bear. It's what I do. I don't. At this point in time, I'm very good at that. Now, the reason why he's saying that is earlier tonight, he was over on Sil Abdul's channel and talking about Henry Cavill. And, you know, and then I made a comment as I do, about how I think more people are interested in seeing Cavill in The Witcher than seeing a Man of Steel 2 at this point. And of course, I'm talking to a room of DC fanatics, so like they're not going to agree with me. But
Exactly.
you know, I'm just saying, it's like I gotta do some hard research on that. I gotta bring some data to see whether or not I'm correct. But I do think that with the hype of The Witcher, especially with Monday, the Witcher animated movie is coming to Netflix. Henry Cavill won't be in it, but I think that's going to be pretty big. And they're also dropping it on a Monday, which makes like no sense.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, and I don't know if you guys covered this because I was losing internet as I was trying to drive home, but really Cavill is doing, you know, is not only has he got The Witcher, which they have yet to renew season 3, but he's also got the Enola Holmes 2. So that's another Netflix franchise that they're going to be kicking off.
That was what I was thinking. I think there was something else.
There's also Argyle, which is that Matthew Vaughn spy film that is going to be a series of books. And that, I don't know if you've looked into that one yet, but Matthew Vaughn optioned the rights to the manuscript before the book even came out. It's due to come out this month on bookshelves. So, and Matthew Vaughn was already like, this is my new Kingsman. And they put together this massive cast, and they were able to get it sold to 200 million to Apple TV. So, I mean, like, you know, if I agree with you though, if Warner's is very much wanting to get in on that Henry Cavill train, they're gonna have to put a ring on that like right now.
The door is closing. The door is seriously closing.
He's 8.5 months pregnant. You know, like he's right there. The head is beginning to crown. The contractions are beginning to happen. The dilation is setting in. And if they're not careful, you know, he's going to end up being over at another studio. And I think that studio is going to probably end up being Netflix for quite some time.
So I was telling Scylla, I said, you know, if they keep this going, he won't be available until Kingdom Come, where he ages into the role, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be so busy. He's not going to have time for it.
No, it's going to be a thing. I know they're going to have to work on that. But anyway, you know what? We spent enough time talking about DC. All right. We spent enough time discussing DC comics and DC films. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. It really is. Yeah. But one of the things here that's been great has been ultimately that partially this channel has turned into a bit of a Warhammer 40K reaction channel. Command Unit here with a 15 shekel super chat. Thank you. Says Battlefleet Gothic Armada, a bad in the despoiler introduction. Okay, I will watch that later on, Command Unit, but it will definitely, that's a long title, but we'll definitely give that a watch later on. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. So what I wanted to dive into tonight is a bunch of Star Wars hot topics here, because you know you've been teasing a lot, you bastard, and I definitely want to get to the bottom of this because I feel like I haven't done enough Star Wars talking recently.
Yeah, I haven't either. I mean, you know, Gikasi's site, people respond to DC and Marvel, and not so much Star Wars. It's basically DC and Marvel all the time. And I love Star Wars, you know that. And like I have Lando in the picture with me here. I have Billy D. Williams. Before we bring that up full screen here, yeah, I had to mention this, Matt. Like every time I'm on somebody else's stream, in the chat, a couple of hashtags show up whenever I mention your name for some reason. What of that is prove Matt Jarbo wrong is one of them.
That's Bat Dan. Yeah, I know that one. He likes to push that one pretty hard.
Yeah, and then there's another one which I just found hilarious. One of the new ones. It's Restore the Jarbo-verse. So,
I don't know what that one is. What is that one?
Well, it's just, you know, basically making you believe in the SnyderVerse coming back and that sort of thing. They feel that you have joined their dark side of the force.
No, it's called pragmatism. You know what I mean? Or pragmatism. Yeah. There we go. That's the word. That's the word is what it is. You know, like it's just, look, here's the thing is like, and I've said this, if you look at the Black Canary movie announcement, the Blue Beetle announcement, the Batgirl announcement, those are all SnyderVerse. J.K. Simmons coming back as Commissioner Gordon and Batgirl. That's a SnyderVerse thing. They're going to continue it to some extent. They already have been. Shazam 2, Black Adam, Aquaman 2. obviously things are moving in that direction. The Flash, I mean, everything is still moving in that direction. The thing is, though, it's just what I'm predominantly referring to, and this is why I love that needle getting moved as often as it does, because it's always like, it's like everyone, just say what they wanted to say. Just say you want Justice League 2 and 3. That's what you want. But I think people are realizing, especially with that Netflix deal, I saw a lot of, you know, the stages of grief, right? And like a lot of bargaining. We're in the bargaining stage now where everyone's just like, no, it's a 2-year non-exclusive. And I'm like, you know, he's making like 2 movies right off the bat, right? Never mind like all the animated shows. And then it's like, and then they're like, oh yeah, no, but it's non-exclusive. I'm like, all right, okay, so there's moving the goalpost on that one. And then like, yeah, but it could be like a Batfleck movie or a Deathstroke movie. I'm like, so now we're also again in the bargaining phase for moving away from Justice League. Because that's like, I'm just saying, it's like the likelihood, the financials don't make a lot of sense. I could see a Man of Steel 2 potentially if they lowered the budget. Yeah. But again, looking at the kind of content that, you know, that Zaslav oversees over there at Discovery, you are more likely to get a Dr. Pimple Popper movie or the return of Honey fucking Boo Boo over a Man of Steel 2. That's my take on it. Now, if I'm proven wrong, I have no problem eating that crow. Because here's the thing, Mikey, and you know this, I want to be proven wrong. But right now, all signs point to, you know what? Nuh-uh. If I'm going to quote Nicole Sullivan from Mad TV from back 20 some odd years ago, almost 25 years ago, I think. But anyway, it doesn't even really matter. Where we are right now is a galaxy far, far away from DC. All right. Like, and people want to
far away indeed.
People want to get on there. It's perfectly fine. But I do want to quickly address this. I did miss this real quick. Simon section with $5 here says, recently I lost my wallet and needed to buy a new phone. Sorry to hear that, Simon. Glad that you're back. Thanks again for becoming a member. I didn't want to like overlook at that one. So we are.
But I did get a new one today, Matt. It was private message to me, and I can't mention the person's name. I'm not sure if you know this person or not, but I want to remain anonymous. But can you tell Matt to get on the Doomcock train? So there you go, man. There's a new one. Get on the Doomcock train.
Someone messaged you to tell me to get on the Doomcock train?
Yeah. After
were they being facetious or were they being
they were fucking serious, dude.
All right, so I just posted a private comment. I want you to look at that and tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, just tell me if I'm right or wrong. If you can't see it, I'll DM it to you on Facebook, but
no, it was not.
Okay, because I talked to that person yesterday. Yeah. So, and I was like, and that name came up. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm like, it's a little bit on the whatever. But here's,
maybe this person knows that person though. But this,
if they're telling me to get on the Doomcock train, then yes.
It told me because you know this person knew I was going to be on your show tonight and to talk Star Wars, and he goes, I hope you have some good news about Star Wars. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be good news to you.
Yeah, it's no. I definitely think it's going to be pretty funny on from. And you haven't told me anything. I want to make this abundantly clear. Yeah. At this point, Mikey hasn't told me shit. No, all he said earlier was like Rian Johnson, and that's it. And I'm like, what can you tell me? And he's like, I want to get your live reaction. I'm like, you son of a bitch. So he has absolutely not told me a thing about this yet. Yeah. However, you did request that I play this little clip on the channel, and I will give me 1 second to get it set up here because I can't download the videos for some reason. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. I totally first like wasn't giving me the option. Now it's giving me the option to. But I mean, look, the thing is like I'll tell you, I'll get on the Doomcock train if anything he ever said turned out to be accurate. That is really where I'm at with this sort of thing at this point. But and I say that because something else popped up today. And all right, hold on. First, we're going to play this little clip here to celebrate your anniversary of everything with Geekosity, which has been blowing up all year, by the way.
Yeah, it's actually the past week and a half. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy. You guys have been popping up everywhere, especially with the Secret Wars thing, which, by the way, Feige kind of, it was mentioned to him, and he went like, well, you know, people write a lot of stuff, but there was no denial. You know? And so he knows what's going on. But this is a special message from your friend Kate Valdez. And this is what she has to say.
Konnichiwa, this is Kate Valdez, and happy anniversary to Geekosity. And also, congratulations and thanks to the awesome people behind your geek. You guys are amazing. Keep it up, and more scoops to come. Stay safe.
That's Filipino actress Kate Valdez. She's got 2 million Facebook followers and over 1 million Instagram followers.
Nice.
And she's I modeled my comic book character after her.
That's right. Yeah, you're showing me the some imaging from that the other day. But real quick though, just because I wanted to jump on this, you've got this little thing here popped up today, right? From this is my tweet, so I'm kind of shilling my own Twitter here, Adam Jarbo. But here's the thing: giant freaking robot put out this thing today. Star Wars has just hired a controversial director for new Disney Plus series. ? And of course, it's Kevin Smith, and the whole thing here is that Kevin Smith is apparently going to be directing episodes of The Acolyte for Leslie Headland over there at Lucasfilm, and this was their source.
Oh God, no!
Mike Zeroh was their source, and they, without any sense of irony, without any sense of journalistic integrity at all, decided that they wanted to come on in and talk about this. And I was like, you've got to be absolutely fucking kidding me. That this is what they're talking about in regards to this is their journalistic stuff. This is terrible. This is god awful. And this is what goes for journalism these days. You know what I mean? And that is always the big issue on my end, is that the journalism is just it's just absolutely terrible. And it's, in my mind, it's a lot of fun to call out. It really is.
It is.
Because so many of these websites, they just run with this crap. You know, all they do is just run with this crap nonstop, and they make it impossible for I think the discussion of real news app. And I'll tell you what drew my attention to this was actually a Facebook group I'm in for Masters of the Universe. And they had dropped some article about, like, I think it was like a clownfish, or maybe it was a Midnight's Edge video talking about how Kevin Smith ruined Skeletor's origins. I don't fucking know. but in there, someone said in the comment section, oh, but Kevin's going to be busy with The Acolyte. And I'm like, the fuck? What do you mean busy with The Acolyte? And I'm like, okay. And then, like, I found this looking around, and I'm like, oh my God. And this is the problem with fake news. This is the problem with Doomcock and Mike Zeroh, is they say these things on repeat and people believe them. And then, so it doesn't surprise me that the same person that was talking about this as being realistic is the kind of person who would be very open to watching a clownfish TV video about Kevin Smith and He-Man. I'm not going to, a few cans short of a six-pack, someone who ate paint chips as a child or lived under power lines, that much I get. It's frustrating, Mikey. It's frustrating because it's like these are real people, and they believe this shit, and then they tell their friends who believe their friends, and then it's just bullshit.
And it circulates all over the web, and it comes back to me, and I get all these questions like, is this for real? Is this, hey, did you know that? And I get tagged this all the time, like, no, none of this is true. I mean, look at the sourcing on this, first of all.
Yeah. I mean, oh, who's this Mike Zeroh guy? Oh, he's got a couple 100,000 subscribers, but he puts out 2,800 videos a day, and literally not a damn thing ever comes true.
Well, here's the thing about the Kevin Smith. Obviously, he's a controversial figure right now, right? Because of Masters of the Universe. So you put this out there, and you get all these angry clicks on that article. Tons of them. Because, it's poking the bear, but poking the bear with bogus information. I doubt this rumor would have even been created if it wasn't for the controversy of Masters of the Universe. Because the same people who are pissed off at Masters of the Universe are the same people who get pissed off at this, right?
Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. But real quick though, I want to H Bart's here dropped $2 asking, Matt, what happened to taking a break? I was going to blame Mikey.
Oops.
He hit me up last night, like literally like at 9:40 p.m. We're going to go live in 20 minutes. And he's like, hey, I can't make it. Something came up. And I'm like, all right, let me quickly scramble and like put together a whole new show in the next like few minutes, which I did. And it was great because I'm awesome.
You're a pro, man.
I'm a pro. I always have stuff on deck, dude. It's always good. You know, and then that's what happened. So then tonight we figured it out. I didn't go out doing any driving tonight, and it's all good. And then also Command Unit here with another 15 shekels. Thank you, sir. Says Darth Jar Jar should still happen. It's my only hope for Star Wars continuity, an actual good antagonist with an actual history behind him. You know what? Here's the thing. The Darth Jar Jar theory, I loved. I thought it was excellent. I'm like, you know what? And then I was rewatching like Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace and whatnot, and like even some episodes of Clone Wars, and like Jar Jar pops up, and I'm all like, you sneaky fuck. What are you up to right now? You know, because that's the thing. That is going to be the ultimate betrayal. If down the road you found out that secretly the second Sith, the apprentice, was not Anakin, that he was a false prophet, but it was really Jar Jar who was behind it. That would be utterly fantastic.
Our minds would be totally blown by then. And I want to see a duck Sith, right? Just come on, man. You want to see a fucking duck Sith?
I think there have been some images of like Donald Duck as a Sith Lord or something. There's got to be somewhere down the road. It would make for like, all I'm saying is like that would make for probably the most interesting erotica of all time. But you know, it's like to achieve orgasm. Turn to page 66. There you go. Oops, dead end. Darn it. Go back and try again.
Sure, some furries out there have come up with something, you know? Yeah,
you know, furries are going to furry. Hold on here. Carlos says, EVS says he wants to run a train on you. Ethan Van Sciver is just a bitch. That's it. That's all it is. He's just a bitch. You know, and if you ever really challenge him on anything, like I have, and I failed a couple years ago, but I'm a lot more prepared now than I was back then. It would be a lot different of a conversation. And again, every time there's drama surrounding them, he's the one that brings my name up and is like, oh no, Jarbo's gonna make a video or something. Even though I don't watch any of his content, I live rent free in those guys' heads. So if he wants to run a train on me, that really makes you question what he thinks about when he's in the shower. All right. And if again, you know what? I'm willing to facilitate. Bronelyfans.com may be coming down the pipeline. Who knows if this YouTube thing fails again? I might have to sit there and just start shilling out some photos of the of my back end. But anyway, Simon here with $2. Kevin Smith doesn't want to direct Marvel movies. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He even said so. They let him do. Greg Berlanti lets him do CW stuff because he literally only has to show up and just go action, and like that's really about it.
Yeah.
Like it's just and as much as I love Kevin Smith, like he's openly admitted that he is not creative enough of a director to really handle the cinematics of something like that. But it's, you know.
Well, he tried the Green Hornet, was one of the ones he attempted, and he's like, nope, can't do this. I mean, he has a problem thinking that of the big action pieces. You know, it's not. He knows it's outside of his range, and that's just good. You know, he knows that. You know?
Yeah, I can. Well, no, he's true. He understands his audience. He understands his wheelhouse, and that's fine. What I would recommend if they were going to do something along those lines is. Take the same concept that Trey Parker and Matt Stone did with Team America World Police, where they wrote it, you know, marionettes and everything, but they hired Michael Bay's cinematographer. I think it was a cinematographer from like Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why they hired Michael Bay's cinematographer is that person understands large scale action.
Yeah.
Large scale set pieces. And they had him really work with them to get the shots and to get the slow-mo and to make it look a certain way, because that was the aesthetic they were attempting to lampoon. And we had a whole conversation the other night about, I think, like 30 minutes about Team America from a couple nights ago. If you guys haven't heard that, go back and check out that episode. I don't know which one it was. It was like 3 nights ago. But it's you know, you can tell. So if Kevin Smith wrote a big action movie, a big spectacle piece, and they brought in the right cinematographer and the right producer, he could like do very similarly to what Mark Webb did with The Amazing Spider-Man. which was just handle the interpersonal dialogue, the interpersonal scenes, nail that chemistry, nail that aesthetic, and then the visual effects director is the one who handled all the action.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be the thing. I mean, you know, there's always that rumor. I don't know how true it is, but there's always that rumor that Spielberg helped out a lot with the action in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, I heard that millions of times.
Yeah, and if it's, I mean, but the thing is, if you think about it, you go, that would make sense because Revenge of the Sith was like leagues better than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
You know, and it has gone on to be a top tier Star Wars film in many eyes of many fans.
I'm a big fan of that film. I loved it. I saw it 3 times in the theater. I'm a huge fan of Revenge of the Sith. My God, it's a lot better than the last 2 sequels we got.
Yeah. 75 year. It says Kevin Smith reiterates that every week on Fat Man Beyond. Yeah, he's really good at busting his own balls. That is very true.
I mean, have you seen Chasing Amy? That's like one of my all-time favorite films. I love how he did the relationships in that film. He's good with that.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic writer, and I love when he dives into creating the characters and the world around them. And I think that's again where his wheelhouse is, because he's really good at kind of like establishing a character type and building upon that, which is why Clerks 3 I'm just like very happy to see. I can't wait
for that. I mean, I thought Clerks 2 was underrated. I mean, there the part where they the donkey they brought in or something, like I could not stop laughing. I was in just complete hysterics.
It's called interspecies erotica, fuckhead.
Yeah, I heard Gene shout. The critic like walked out of the theater at that point. I mean, like, yeah, you know you're effective when you make a critic walk out of your movie, right?
Oh yeah. That was but then I remember when it went to Cannes, and they got like a 9.5 minute standing ovation. You know, now here's the thing with that, by the way, what you guys should realize about Cannes is every movie gets a standing ovation. So it's really not like it's out of respect. They applaud, they do a standing ovation during the end credits of the movie. And then it goes beyond that a little bit. So if you recall, the end credits of Clerks 2 were absolutely fucking long because they had a campaign going at the time where if you wanted to get your name in the end credits of Clerks 2, you had to make Kevin Smith like your #1 space on MySpace, your #1 friend on MySpace, and they would add your name to the end credits. I think my name's in the end credits of that movie. I've honest to God never looked. But like I did that. A lot of people did that. And if you watch the movie in theaters, or just go find your copy of Clerks 2 on home video and then go to the end credits, and you will see like it's like 100,000 people that they put in there.
Wow.
So, you know, that 9.5 minutes, like it's a little padded. It's a little padded on that front. And that's again something like no one ever talks about. It's such a weird piece of movie trivia.
That's why I had no idea. I never heard of it. That's awesome.
This is what I do. You know, like
Wasn't there a film that at the Cannes Film Festival that people walked out on? It was the Brown Bunny, right?
Oh, Brown Bunny, yeah. When Vincent Gallo got a blowjob from his real life girlfriend. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty funny. When
shit that I remember, man, just like random shit.
Well, I remember when I first saw that clip because my friend, I had it on PSP, right, on the PlayStation Portable. My friend was like, "Hey man, did you hear? Here's a video clip of Chloe Sevigny giving a blowjob, and it's from a movie called Brown Bunny." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, he sent it to me, and like I somehow like was able to like download it to my PlayStation Portable, and then like take it to work. And I was like at work, and I'm like watching it on. I'm like, all right, like I mean, she's okay, you know, like it's just like like there's like no money shot. I feel like this is such a waste. And it's just, but then like I mean,
don't duck vagina, then I feel ripped off, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Is even what's his name, Roger Ebert was like, had just trashed that movie, and that is now what Vincent Gallo's career is. I mean, we all saw him, get head, and then Chloe Sevigny, to her credit, has been able to go on and do some other stuff and kind of move past it. She's like, look, I'm an artist. I sucked his dick for the art. Like, okay, honey, okay, fine. But did you have to swallow? Did you have to swallow though? Was that for the art, or is that just extra mile right there? And by the way, just because I found this out too, because Reddit likes to recommend me stuff, there's a subreddit called the Extra Mile, where it is just clips from like actual movies where the actors go into like they go too far. you know, where it's like actual sex, actual stuff, and you're like, oh my God, you know, like I was not expecting this. So that's, you know, I think what it is Reddit's like, we know you're a dirty pervert. Here, check this out. What can I say? What can I say? The internet gets me. All right, real quick here. Ryan Hartwell, $5. Thank you, Ryan. Says Darth Jar Jar, the greatest trick the Sith ever pulled was convincing the galaxy they didn't exist. And like that, blow, they's gone. Very true. There we go, Ryan. Thank you very much for that one. Simon here with another $2 says, Viva la France. Yes. Yes. Viva la France.
Yeah, I get people asking me if the sequels will exist, you know, be erased from continuity and all that stuff. And like,
so
it's all bullshit. All bullshit.
So yeah, I mean, obviously the sequel trilogy is not going to get erased from canon. Never. I mean, anyone who's paid attention to Mandalorian season 2, hell, the Bad Batch even, there were some slight references to everything, especially the ending of season 1. I don't want to spoil it for people out there who haven't you know, seen the season finale yet of Bad Batch, but there are ties into the sequel trilogy. There are ties into Mandalorian. It's subtle, it's there, but you can see the through line of what they're attempting to go and do. So obviously when it comes to everything, there's no way Disney is retconning the sequel trilogy. Now I will say this as a to be fair, you know, whatever. Will they retcon maybe a couple things here and there, you know, or like give an explanation that might be on the edge of the suspension of disbelief? Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. I'll think they might do that. I would have no problem if they were to somehow like do that somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give us something. We're like, oh, okay, that, you know, really what it is making up for The Last Jedi. That's really what it's making up for at this point. Like, I feel like they've been on a 4-year apology tour.
Very, very true. Well, so, speaking of Rian Johnson, you know what, might as well.
Yeah. Let's get into the the Rian Johnson situation.
Man, you know, it's kind of like a lot of those slasher films, like you know, like the Halloween or Friday the 13th is the best example of this. Jason Voorhees, you think he's dead, right?
Yeah.
He comes back. Oh, you know, Michael Myers. I don't know how many times he's come back. Like, who's come back more, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers? Probably Jason Voorhees.
I think Voorhees. Well, I mean, there was like, I think there's like 13, like Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
And there's Halloween like 1 through 7. Yeah. And then, well, that was Halloween H2O was, I think, Halloween 7. And then there was Halloween 8. And then they did the two Rob Zombie Halloweens.
Yep.
Which would be 10. And then Halloween Kills, which would be number 11. And then Halloween Kills, or Halloween, then Halloween Kills. So number 12. So we're on 12, at least 13 coming next year.
Very close.
So, I mean, the two are very kind of neck and neck for a long time, even though technically the Halloween franchise is older. Yeah. Although, well, actually, we can't really count Halloween 3 because Season of the Witch had nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Yep. So I like that film too. It was weird. It was very strange film.
So let me guess. So what you are alluding to with this particular analogy, this setup that, you know, the unkillable can't be killed and the unkillable finds a way to return, even though you've beheaded it, you've burned it, you've blown it up, you've buried it in a ditch, and you've left it for dead. But somehow it finds itself brought back from an Indian burial ground. Is that what you're telling me, Mikey?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I seriously thought the whole Rian Johnson thing was dead, kaput, it's over with. What I heard this weekend is that Kathleen Kennedy still wants to work with him.
Why?
Yeah, I know. And whether it's a trilogy or something else, I'm not sure. But I was talking to a friend of mine who has dealings with Lucasfilm, and I was just joking. I said, what would piss off people more? I'll get into the Kathleen Kennedy part of this because we were talking about how that would piss off a lot of people. And I said, probably the only thing that would piss off people more would be Rian Johnson coming back. And he said, well, let's talk about that. I'm like, holy shit, no.
Oh no. I mean, okay. So, oh no.
No, I just wanted to get your live reaction.
Okay. Let me just say
your
this.
review of Last Jedi is classic, dude.
It is. I was so pissed. And that anger hasn't really subsided in like 4 years. I just choose to not think about that movie. But I'll tell you, actually, I will say this though. I have softened on it a little bit because I every time I think about it, I'm like, I want to like this movie. I'm trying to legitimately like trick my brain into liking the movie. And then every time I try and I think about what I like, and there are actually a number of things in that movie that I do like on like a single standalone basis. But when I think about the general concept of what that movie is, of what it didn't do, and how it just left things at a complete standstill at the end, is just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
What the hell? And then no. But at the same time, I thought Knives Out was awesome.
Well,
and
so
I can't
did Kathleen Kennedy. So did people at Lucasfilm. His value kind of raised again after Knives Out. But Kathleen Kennedy still wants to work with him, and
so, but okay. So you don't. I mean, okay, just because she wants to work with them,
yeah.
But okay, so let's kind of approach this from like, let's say the Henry Cavill perspective.
There you go. There you go.
Because I have to find a way to like rationally just say no to what you're saying. So I have to use logic here.
Sure.
So really, So really, it's like, look, Netflix paid $450 million for Knives Out 2 and Knives Out 3.
Yeah.
So and they're like halfway done filming Knives Out 2 right now. And I don't know when they're going to film Knives Out 3. It's possible that might go into quick production for next year and they just shoot them back to back or something along those lines. That to me seems like the most likely, given that a lot of this is just it's very character driven.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of action. So breezing through a lot of those scenes will be relatively simple. But then, okay. But then that's a couple years. Let's say it's a couple years down the road. Okay, fine. Kathy currently is, we're waiting. Next month is the big reveal. And whether or not she's going to get her contract renewed for the end of this year, we should be finding out in September. That's we'll get to that. Don't say anything just yet. I'm just using that as a primer.
Sure.
But okay, we know that the next movie coming out in December 2023, so still 2 years and some change away, is going to be the Rogue Squadron film done by Patty Jenkins. Okay, cool. And then we know that there's the Taika Waititi written movie that he's going to work on after Thor: Love and Thunder, and I think something else he's working on. That's coming down the road, and that's rumored to be the Kevin Feige produced film.
Yeah.
Which I think we all kind of figured that it kind of was.
Yeah.
There's another movie that I heard about that's being developed by a couple guys right now at Lucasfilm that are working on another movie right now, but we don't know anything about that. They're just working on it. And then also, isn't Michael Waldron, the guy who wrote Loki, isn't he working on? Yeah. No, he's writing the Kevin Feige movie. That's my mistake.
He's writing the Kevin Feige movie.
Right. He's writing the Kevin Feige movie. So you've got like 4, 5 films that we actively know about that are currently kind of milling around over there at Lucasfilm. So I would assume that their slate for 2023, 2025, 2027, those every other year releases are probably locked and loaded. I would assume those are already probably set.
Yeah.
So Ryan would probably not fit in there unless he's going to be tackling the Kevin Feige produced film.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. Also, I was told that we can't assume theatrical with this. It could be something for Disney Plus.
Yeah, well, that was the other aspect I was getting to. Yeah,
this trilogy, I don't even know that. But I was just told that Kathleen Kennedy wants to work with him. Still wants to work with him and keep him in the Star Wars tent.
Okay. So my other theory on that is, because I was thinking like theatrical, because look, coming off, look, The Last Jedi did do over 1.3 billion. So, you know, which is like 900 million less than the movie before it, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But still crossed the $1 billion mark. You know, it's in the trace commas section. But we do know that he has expressed interest in directing an episode of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that Jon Favreau has also expressed interest in him directing an episode of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Given how many guest directors came in for season 1 and season 2, and they are going to be continuing that not only with season 3, but Book of Boba Fett. Because who was it? The guy who did Extraction is directing, I think, a couple episodes of Book of Boba Fett. And I know also that Robert Rodriguez himself is directing a couple episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there with that one. I would not be surprised if at some point Rian Johnson comes in to tackle an episode or 2 of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing with that is I know a lot of people are going to be like, no,
Yeah, exactly.
but hear me the fuck out on this one, guys. I have actually said repeatedly that if Rian Johnson wanted to come in and tackle an episode or 2 of The Mandalorian, I am more than 100% behind that. And here's my reasoning. Have you ever seen his episodes of Breaking Bad?
I saw every episode of that, so I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know which ones. Which ones
He did the episode where Hank died.
Oh, geez, that's a brilliant episode.
Brilliant episode. All right, he did a couple episodes. His episodes of the Breaking Bad, especially in the final season, were epic, and he did a great job with that one.
Best.
But here's what you guys have to remember about television. Just because a director's name is attached to the episode, that doesn't necessarily mean everything. They're allowed to kind of play with it how they want to play with it, but they don't write the script. That's locked down by the showrunner. In this case, that was Vince Gilligan in his exceptionally badass writing. And they already had the crew in place, and the producers and the production team knew the aesthetic they were going for, and they let Johnson go in and tackle it from his perspective and bring a lot to the table. But the story beats, the story elements, all that stuff was already handled. He couldn't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of The Mandalorian, that would also be the same thing. Is that would go through a rigorous vetting process. If he were to write the script, Favreau would oversee it. Favreau would rewrite it if necessary. He would not let any fuckery happen. Any fuckery, not one bit. But they would. But think of it like this: Ricky Famuyiwa, his episodes of Mando have been exceptional, as good as Deborah Chow. Especially the penultimate episode from last season, where they go and break out, or when Bill Burr and him, Miggs Mayfeld and Mando go into the refinery. That was like, he wrote and directed that episode, and it was well written and well acted and well directed. Everyone loved it.
One of my favorite episodes. Yeah.
It's great. I absolutely love Bill Burr in that episode. Yeah. And he totally got cheesed out of an Emmy nod for that. However, Rian Johnson, if he was to tackle it from that perspective, and it was overseen by Favreau and Filoni, and there were shepherds that were guiding it to the finish line, I'm all for it. If he were to tackle another Star Wars movie with that same exact oversight, I would be okay with it. So that's the thing. Mad Maxer says, "Say it ain't so, Mikey, that Ryan isn't coming back."
Well, see, okay, here's what I heard. I heard it is a film, but or more than one film, but not necessarily theatrical is what I heard. So I don't know if this is his trilogy that he was been talking about for years now, but he was never officially let go. They just like, oh, I'm still working on it, or whatever, and so that's what was explained to me. Like, there's a reason for that, because he hasn't been let go. He hasn't been.
I think that HEIR had something to do with his movies not going forward more than Kennedy, because it was after the release of Solo when that came out, and that movie again unfairly hit by the backlash to The Last Jedi. I love Solo. I think it's a marvelous movie. I would love to see what Phil Lord and Chris Miller did 100%, but that was only after that HEIR went, maybe we kind of we maybe hit the ground a little bit too fast there, which is a lie, totally a lie. But But here's the other side of this too, is Bob Chapek's in control now. And Chapek is, again, it's a money's guy. He's a money guy. He's not a fan of this shit. He's an IP miner. So if they bring in, and you know, whenever Alan Horn leaves Walt Disney Studios, which is at the end of this year alongside of Bob Iger, whoever they replace him with, which I think is going to be like a money guy that Chapek is putting in there, they're going to look again. They're going to look to see what's selling. They're going to look to see what's done well. And there's no way that they are going to look at The Last Jedi and not just go, well, 1.3 billion worldwide and an insane amount of home video sales, which it actually did. Never mind all the ancillary money that they have made and everything else in the process. I could see them looking at that and going like, let's continue going with the sequel trilogy, because look, it was still 2.2 billion, 1.3 billion, and like 1.1 billion, I think. So, I mean, add that together and you're looking at like $4.6 billion total for everything for those three films. I mean, like, again, they're going to ramp. I mean, even Rogue One hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, and so what I'm worried about is that they're going to look at this and go, well, these movies theatrically did pretty well. Why don't we start taking, you know, like the approach of moving some of either continuing the sequel trilogy, because there's been rumors of Rey coming back. Now I'm hearing rumors of Finn coming back, but for a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, I read about that online. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, look, if you know, John Boyega didn't walk away there very happy, and I mean, but it is possible that they might try to lure him back in. By giving him a producer role and letting him kind of oversee it.
Possible. I'm just not seeing it, but everything is possible. I did ask this, Matt. I said, you know, because the argument that people had about The Last Jedi in terms of its financials was that it didn't come close to Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
But the argument against that is neither did The Empire Strikes Back. And Star Wars. In fact, Return of the Jedi made more than Empire Strikes Back. I didn't check the re-releases, but the initial releases, Return of the Jedi beat Empire Strikes Back. So it was really kind of hard to beat The Force Awakens, because you had all that time that we hadn't seen those characters. This pent up, you know, nostalgia that just exploded with that film. And there was no way that Last Jedi would have been able to beat it, unless, you know, unless all the characters had reunited in that film. That wasn't going to, because Han Solo was already dead, you know. And
Carrie Fisher had already passed away a year earlier.
So.
But I really do feel if they would have cut the Luke Skywalker death scene by 5 seconds and he wouldn't have died.
Yeah,
but they would have. That would have saved 95% of the fight, of the pushback.
Well, look at The Mandalorian, man. That Luke Skywalker scene is what we wanted from The Last Jedi. I mean, everybody just went nuts with that scene.
Oh, I legitimately cried. Like, legitimately cried.
Dude, I lost my shit, dude. Once I saw his X-Wing, that was it, man. I was like, I'm out. You know, I'm going fucking bonkers in the living room, dude.
Yeah, I was sitting here at my computer, and I'm just like, no way. Like, and tears are welling up and shit. Had to go back and watch it a couple more times. Real quick here, Todd Fayer asks, thank you, Todd. If Rian Johnson directed a Justice League movie, do you think it would be any good? That depends. Is it in connection to anything else we've seen before? If the answer to that is yes, then I don't know. I'm going to go with, maybe not. Maybe not really the best thing on the planet.
I think Ryan may be better with his own creations, right? I mean, his own IP. Like Knives Out was, you know.
Yeah, really well done. Now, here's the thing. Tony here says, Rian Johnson was a real bitch to people who didn't like his film. Were some... needlessly being mean to him, maybe. However, he didn't need to be an insufferable douchebag. That is very true. You make a good point there. Now, Protoss here also makes a good point by saying Chapek is looking at Mando, not at The Last Jedi. Well, here's the problem with that, Protoss, is Chapek is the Parks guy. The Parks are where under his leadership, where we got Galaxy's Edge, and that was tied into the sequel trilogy, a trilogy that was already coming to an end the same year that Land came out. So that's still going to be something that you might look at as being potentially his baby or something he was very heavily involved in. So as CEO, why wouldn't he want to find a way to make it popular without going backwards? And I'm not saying that Mando is going backwards. I think Mandalorian, and the Dark Troopers and Grogu and Ahsoka all need to be over at Batuu. They all need to be at the park. And the fact that they're not is ridiculous. Goes to show you that they don't know what they're going to do with that yet. And I think there's going to be a fair amount that could possibly potentially change. Now, Reynaldo here says Chapek is really not good at his job. Yeah, you know what? There are people out there who would absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that. So, all right. I did want to, before we jump into the big news, there's one thing I wanted to talk about here. And that is, of course, did you hear about this news coming out?
Oh yeah, the Slave One being changed.
The Slave One, but it's not true though. It's not a thing. Everyone's freaking out over it, because they're now they just kind of gave it a classification.
Yeah.
They so back in June you had the Star Wars Lego set called the Boba Fett Starship. All right, and then now they're calling it the FIRESPRAY. And this is what people are saying. It's like, oh, it's Boba Fett and FIRESPRAY is what they're saying, this classification for it. And they're trying to argue that this is, I mean, some people have taken this and run with it as saying, oh, they've gotten rid of the Slave One name and now it's called FIRESPRAY. Well, FIRESPRAY 31 class patrol and attack craft is the classification of the type of vessel that he flies. So it's not a new name. It's just a classification of the type of vehicle. It's like saying Luke's X-Wing. You know what I mean? It's an X-Wing. It's an X-Wing class ship. It's Luke's X-Wing. Sure, this is Boba's FIRESPRAY. Fine, you want to call it that, fine. But I'm telling you this right now. No one out there is going to sit there and look at this. Again, Boba Fett piloted a customized FIRESPRAY named Slave One throughout their career. No one is going to call it a fucking FIRESPRAY. Wow, that FIRESPRAY that Boba Fett's piloting is really cool, you guys. I mean, like, I totally want to get a FIRESPRAY for my collection. No one's going to do that. It's going to be all Slave One. And if anyone out there has any problem with this, again, let's be fair. People out there are going to be arguing this, a lot of them with blue check marks. Oh, Lucasfilm is supporting all this nonsense, whatever. No one out there is saying this is like, they're not associating it with that. There are people out there that are trying to associate it with that. Those are the ones who are being the biggest problems, in my opinion. I agree with Music Man here. The name won't stick. It's not going to stick. And then Tony here says, if the name were to be changed, Lucasfilm would surely have done so. But the thing with that is it's like this. Lucasfilm, you know what? They would probably let Disney take the heat for that one. If I'm being honest with you, if because this is coming in from like the toy wing, the licensing department over there at Disney that handles all of this stuff. They would let them take the hit because they probably don't want to deal with it. But I do agree with 75 here who says, I don't think they ever said Slave One in the movies. Did they? I don't believe so. But that doesn't fucking matter. All right.
Yeah, I think they call it Slave One, but they call it Slave One in the film or TV show. I never heard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never actually heard it referred to as Slave One, but that's not even really a big thing, right? That's not even really a big thing. What it really boils down to, ultimately, is that it's what it's known as amongst the fans. Exactly, and a lot of the people out there who are going to cry and complain about all of this stuff, I hate to break it to you guys, they've never been fans in the first place and anything else. However, Simon's section, oh my God, wasn't FIRESPRAY a nickname given to Lindsay Lohan? I don't know. I'm assuming it's some kind of squirting fetish.
It sounds like arson-born FIRESPRAY.
It does kind of sound like, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could also be she's got red head to the fire, and either she pees places, which could be a thing for that. I don't know, or she's a drunk. I have no idea. So there's that. And any of the mods, yeah, I saw some of the bots pop up. If anyone sees it, feel free to yeet it. It's all good on my front. You mods have my full permission to seek and destroy. Let's see here. The last statement says that was Fire Crotch because she's a redhead and she got caught not wearing panties once getting out of a car. I honestly haven't seen that image of the Last Sane one, but thank you. Even Darkside here says, hell, I thought her nickname was Firebush. Well, I guess you know what? There's nicknames for everything in the internet.
I mean, you couldn't call her vagina Slave 1, I guess, right? So.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there.
It's just, you know, Lindsay Lohan. What happened to Lindsay Lohan? I feel so bad for her. I mean, like, what is it with actresses, like, just, like, not wearing underwear and, like, when they go out to the club, it's like, come on. If you're going to be getting out of a car somewhere, somebody's going to be there with the camera and someone's going to get an angle shot that you know, that you're not really going to get, that you're not going to like. So
there's Britney Spears one I was pretty shocking at the time.
Oh no, have you seen Britney Spears her Instagram like today?
No,
her Instagram is just turning into nothing but like her almost posting topless. I'm not even kidding you. Like I checked it. It was recommended to me on my Instagram for some reason. I don't follow her, but it was like recommended to me, and I clicked on it, and it's just like Britney at this point, just like she's like topless, but she's squishing her boobs together, or she's dancing around, and it's like you can pretty much see everything underneath the shirt, and it's like, all right, cool. I'm not going to slut shame you for your freedom, because I do feel this is her like first time in a long time having like freedom.
Yeah.
And this is how she's choosing to express it. And I get that. And I support that actually. You know what, if the next evolutionary phase though is most likely going to end up being like probably in OnlyFans.
Maybe she'll be in a Howard the Duck remake and with running around without any underwear.
So wait, Howard the Duck remake starring Britney Spears.
There you go.
As a 40-year-old aging rock star who's single, lives alone, and gets it on with a. You know what, man? Fund it.
Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it.
Anyway. So enough of a detour on that one here. What do you want to talk about next? I don't know everything you've got, but
let me see. Why don't we go into what I call this bourbon on Sill's show? It's the kind of news that will give headaches to certain people, and they just won't like it. And I know, Matt, there's a large segment of your audience that probably won't like this.
No, I've been slowly red pilling people on Kathleen Kennedy for a while. You know, I'm like, come on, guys, she's not that bad. Like, name a movie. You know, she's basically fingered our childhoods. Like, she had her fingers in our child. Yeah. She's been around since the 70s. It's like all this kind of stuff. And you know, I love the people that are like, no, she just got Spielberg his coffee. Yeah, when she was his assistant on Raiders of the Lost Ark back in when they filmed it back in 1979. You know, like that's when she got him coffee. I'm sorry. That was 42 fucking years ago. Now she's the head of fucking Lucasfilm, where she's been since 2012. For 9 years, she's been running the show at Lucasfilm. Like what a better way to minimize the experience and existence of a powerful female executive.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me a feminist, please. Don't, you know, but like when you try, no, but like, but when you diminish someone's career like that, I don't care what their gender is. They've been around, they've done the work, they've put it in the work. You know what? They've done their job. It may not, everything is never going to be gravy, but you know what? Like there's still, I think, a level of respect that is, that is earned on that front. But anyway, let's piss off some people.
George Lucas wanted her to be the Lucasfilm president, right? He handpicked her. I mean, you know, more can you ask for if you're a George Lucas fan? So I brought this up with you a while back that, in fact, we had ran an article on it like last year that she's not going to get fired, right? And but that started a firestorm with some people, like fuck you, you know, she's going to get fired because Doomcock said so, or whoever said so, and I said no, you're not going to fire her. So it's become now, Matt, that, okay, she won't get fired, but she won't get renewed, right? That's a new one. She won't get renewed. I believe her contract runs out October 31st. Halloween, right?
I've heard that. Yeah, I've also heard that it's not that they're going to renew her.
Yeah,
but they're going to kind of like forcibly retire her or whatever, or like kind of move her to like a corner office with a nice window. And if somebody had said, I think it might have been Doomcock, somebody had said that they were going to like lavish her with awards and accolades, and that was going to be like how they transitioned her out. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like I don't like what who huh how would like I don't, there are things that I hear coming out of that group of people sometimes that break my brain for how idiotic it is.
She's gonna get an extension. Multi-year extension is what they're expecting for her to receive, and I know that's bad news for some of you out there. But Matt, they're giving her a lot of the credit for the Disney Plus success. For
as they should.
For the Mandalorian, they feel that really saved much of the franchise. I mean, all the excitement with Star Wars now is due to the Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett, that whole Filoni Favreau side of things. Yeah, she's gonna get an extension. There's just no other way around it. They feel that it fell under her watch. And so she's going to get all the credit for that. Not to mention the fact that those 3 sequels made billions. That was a big part of it as well.
Yeah. And don't forget, Rogue One, $1 billion.
Yeah, Rogue One, yeah. A film which, it's not even part of the sequels, right? But they died, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I even remember them saying in their contract that they had the potential for sequels. So they may unkill them at some point and bring him back. Like I could only, I know Cassian Andor is coming, but I could assume, I could only really think if they were so creatively bankrupt at some point in time, like, no, we figured out how to keep Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor alive. And that's going to be the sequel series to Cassian Andor, is them getting off a Scarif or some crap like that. It's gonna be like, all right, okay, 1-800, come on now, let them be dead. We only wanted Luke to come back. We only wanted Luke. They can stay dead. We're okay with that. It's going to kill the emotional resonance of the film. But I still think that I love Rogue One. I think it's a fantastic movie.
I love that film. I know it's probably my favorite of all the new Star Wars movies. That last scene with Darth Vader, holy shit, dude. I mean,
and that was all done during reshoots, actually. That was a Tony Gilroy thing. Tony Gilroy came in and saved Cassian Andor 100%. As much as I love the way that Gareth Edwards makes movies, his work on Godzilla was fantastic. I loved his movie before that, Monsters, was also awesome. But this one was, they shot, they shot hours upon hours upon hours of content. And I would love to see what they cobbled together out of that. Some of those set pieces that we saw in the trailer that never made it into the movie. And it's just, again, that was pretty much saved through reshoots and editing. And Tony Gilroy knocked it out of the park, which is why he's show running. No, he's not. No, he is show running Cassian Andor, but because of COVID, he wasn't going to be directing it. He was just going to be show running it from back in New York. So, I'm very curious to see what happens. I can't wait for Disney Plus Day. 3 months, a little over 3 months to go until we finally probably get our first real look at Cassian Andor.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to that so much.
So I think this can be fantastic. But I do want to get this quick super chat here from H Barts. Quat Warbo, Eat Rarbo, Tat Yarbo, U at Iarbo, O at Parbo, at Sarbo, Dat Farbo, Gat Harbo, Jack Carbo, Lat Zarbo, Zat Carbo, Vat Parbo, Nat Marbo. Thank you, Hunter, for whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I appreciate that. So the long and short of it is Kathleen Kennedy not being fired. Doomcock is a liar, and or he's just being fed bad information. I was listening last night. There's this channel named Echo Based Network. And they were talking about Doomcock, and they were like, well, the one guy, Nick, who seems like a nice enough guy, he was saying that, he thinks that Doomcock is really being fed this information. And I'm like, if Doomcock is really being fed that information and it is so categorically false, I mean, like, so false that like even again, one of the funniest things that I've seen come out of like all of this shit was this right here.
If you believe Doomcock's rumors, that's great. I don't.
You know, like I love that drop right there because that shows you that even his close friends don't like him. And then again, when it comes to this news about everything happening, this is what we're going to say to them.
I'm gonna cry.
So, you know, like let him cry. Let him cry. It's going to happen.
What I was told is the only way Kathleen Kennedy would be out of there if she volunteered to just, you know what, I'm tired of that, I'm gonna move on. Yes, but they're not gonna fire her. They're just gonna extend her. Is what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that makes the most amount of sense that they would just extend her because clearly, again, it's like right now with the transition of power, they're not gonna want to have that many, you know, they're not gonna want to have that many controversies because it's going to show instability, and Chapek doesn't need that nonsense right now.
Yeah, instability is the word I was looking for. It's perfect word. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of what's going to, you know, I think we're going to be fine with everything. I think that Disney Plus is the way to go. Longer form serialized storytelling, which is what Star Wars is founded off of, is going to be the way to go. And honestly, like looking into what they're building to, which I think is a great transition into this might be the next thing you want to talk about. I'm not sure. Okay, so building into the next thing is going to be what I think a lot of people want to know more about, and you know, that's Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, this is something that, man, it goes back with you and I when I scooped Thrawn years ago.
Yeah, I actually found that thumbnail. I was looking through something the other day, and I can't remember. I was Googling Heir to the Empire, and I think that video popped up about Thrawn going live action. And that was from 2019.
Yeah, like so long before.
You're like, oh, it was such a long time ago. So much has changed.
Oh,
so
God.
much has happened.
The whole year of COVID just kind of made it feel like 10 years have passed. You know?
I know,
insane.
man. I know it's absolutely nuts. But Heir to the Empire. So now for those, there are people out there who do not know what this is. And how would you best describe Heir to the Empire?
Well, basically it's a continuation of Star Wars after Return of the Jedi. Like how many years I think after Return of the Jedi? I can't remember anymore.
It's only a couple. At this point, for the sake of where I think we are going with this, let's say 5 years.
5 years, yeah. So let me bring this up first. But I find when I was talking to my person about Kathleen Kennedy, he made this really interesting comparison. He said, what's going on with Disney Plus right now and Lucasfilm in general, it's kind of similar to Marvel Studios. We had Kevin Feige, who was really like in charge of all the movies, right? Then you had Jeff Loeb on the TV side, kind of doing their own thing. And at one point, you know, they were all connected until Feige said, no, they're not really connected. You know, this is, you know, like I'm only going to connect the stuff I'm producing myself.
And I blame a lot of that on Ike Perlmutter, and that was like such a blow. That was such a blow to the fan base, to be honest with you. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But if any of you are worried that, you know, Kennedy get an extension will get in the way of Filoni and Favreau, no, because Favreau and Filoni, they're kind of in their own creative bubble. Kathleen Kennedy has final say if she doesn't want something, but she's going to leave those guys alone. Kind of what, Feige didn't really interfere with Jeff Loeb. The only times where he didn't, he can't use certain characters, right? The character belongs to the movies or so on and so forth. So I'm hearing Heir to the Empire is going to be on Disney Plus. And
that makes sense because I kind of already hinted at that a year ago.
Yeah, it'll be tweaked. I mean, it won't be an exact adaptation of it. You're going to have the Rebels, tying into this thing. But with Thrawn showing up, it's going to lead right into Heir to the Empire, which will be a limited series, is what I'm hearing.
And quickly, because Wikipedia did actually say this in the next paragraph down. They said that it is the first installment of the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So when they first announced The Mandalorian and they said it takes place 5 years after the Return of the Jedi, we should have fucking known. You know, like we should have known at that point this is what they were going for, because season 3 of Rebels had already happened. Thrawn had already come into live to animation. You know, like I didn't see anyone picking up. I didn't pick up on this because I've never read the book. I've heard of it.
I didn't either.
But like I never read the book. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know, I think it was a fall of 2018 with that season of Rebels. All of a sudden it was just like Timothy Zahn's writing a new Thrawn novel. The Legends books are coming back. I mean, all of this Thrawn, you know, kind of reintroduction into the fandom, into the public lexicon, I guess. And then now it's like, all of these shows are gonna combine into a massive, you know, cinema or a big event at the end. And it's it's all right there. It's right there, right in front of us the whole time, Mikey. Yep. Like on the Declaration of Independence, we should have stolen it.
I know, seriously. Mara Jade will be a part of this limited series, which, you know, you and I scooped on your show a long time ago as well.
I remember that. I remember the Mara Jade thing, and that is definitely, you know, that's a big piece of information. That's what a lot of fans are waiting for. Right. Yeah. They're so desperate for Mara Jade to enter into the scene. And you know, and I'm kind of wondering, based upon the nostalgia factor of everything, you remember the original model who did Mara Jade, right?
No, who's
Oh, it's her. This lady right here.
Oh, okay.
And who is that buxom young man? Buxom, sorry, fat ass. That's me at 18, by the way.
Oh my God.
That's me at 18. Look at
that's awesome, man.
That's terrible.
Awesome.
I look way better than I did 20 years ago. But I met her at my very first Comic-Con. In 2000 in San Diego. Yeah, I got the picture taken with her. Clearly she's super uninterested, and I'm close to a hot chick. I just look like a moron. But yes,
convention photos, man, when you're next to a hot chick.
Well, that I didn't have to pay to get. So that's my flex. That's my flex. But the thing is, like, fans are waiting for Mara Jade.
Yeah,
they've been, you know, they really thought the sequel trilogy was going to take from it, considering the fact that, you know, Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams, when they were developing The Force Awakens, they were pulling elements from the Legends books, from the EU. And you know, and I think what it was is what we didn't give them the benefit of at the time was how long it would take to establish this kind of stuff. But let me ask you this, though. Have you heard anything about whether or not this shifting over to the Thrawn era, I mean, coming off of everything, was that a plan before The Last Jedi and the Fallout, or was it something that came as a result? Because I would assume if they did Rebels and they brought Thrawn back for Rebels the year after The Last Jedi came out, they were probably too far into production at that point in time to, you know, to add him in as a kind of a last minute thing. So it's got to be something that was already on the horizon.
It was already on the horizon, yeah. And as far as Mara Jade is concerned, that is one of Favreau's like top 5 things he wants to bring to the silver screen, or, you know, live action. Is Mara Jade. That's one of his big deals. So it's gonna go through. I mean, obviously they're gonna tweak her in this continuity, right? But Mara Jade is definitely coming in. She's gonna be in this limited series.
Nice.
So it's gonna be like 6 hours long, so we think they can have enough time to really tell the story, or whatever version of the story they're gonna take. And, you know, Favreau and Filoni are gonna have freedom on this. This is not a theatrical film. Like I said, they're gonna be kind of left alone to their own devices with what they do in this project. I mean, whatever they want to use from the expanded universe, you know, okay, you know, make it fit somehow. You know what I mean? So this is the big deal, Matt. This is where they are going on Disney Plus with the Favreau Filoni Star Wars projects. This is their big event that they have planned. So, you know, it's getting there. It's gonna get there. It'll be like their end game, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like, and I feel like, you know, I've been under the, I think I've said this to you maybe, and I've been under the impression that it feels like Kevin Feige stealth produced season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I heard rumors about it, and I believe it. I know he'll deny it. But...
He'll deny it, obviously. Yeah, he'll deny everything. You know, but if you just look at the format of season 2 of The Mandalorian and like how they set everything up and how they did things,
it's the Avengers.
I'm like, this is Iron Man 2. Like the whole season is Iron Man 2, just way better.
Yeah.
But like establishing stuff, I mean, that name drop of Thrawn changed everything. I mean, everything, that name drop. And so that just opened the door to whatever. And so, yeah, this could be like, obviously, you know, the heir to the Empire could be a big fact, you know, that's going to be their first kind of big phase 1 ending, maybe. And then, you know, I wouldn't be surprised again if they're trying to tie it into the sequel trilogy. It doesn't like Dark Empire take place after that? Or when does that take place?
Dark Empire,
because I mean that
I think it's after, isn't it? I can't remember.
Personally, I don't know right now, and I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me on that.
Out there will be.
Star Wars experts. I'm a fan of the movies and the shows. Like that's where my knowledge is. But really, yes. I mean, like I could see them taking certain pivot. Damn it, events where things pivot. There we go. And then pushing that towards. You know, as we go on, because they are clearly going to start pushing it towards the sequel trilogy and building up things out of there. But it's like if they start tackling it from the same you know angle as Marvel with the, you know, these shows on Disney Plus now and the multiverse and stuff, I think it's going to be kind of fascinating. And what I'm wondering, and maybe you've heard something about this, is that like the timeline of where these things are, because I know that there was I might have missed a super chat. If so, I am so sorry. It was talking about, oh, damn it. Hold on here. Let me take a quick look. Oh yeah. Sorry. Simon's section had sent this earlier and I totally missed it. Is Rogue Squadron the first Star Wars film post sequel? And that's the thing I don't get, because like Rogue Squadron in the series is post Return of the Jedi.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why in God's name would they set it post sequel trilogy when there's really kind of like no need for it right now, unless they establish it many years down the line? Because there's not going to be a power vacuum left behind from the First Order. This is a difference between the First Order and the Empire. The Empire had 20 years. The First Order never even really came to power. You know, they never, maybe if they did, they were only in power for a year. A year. That was it. That's not a lot of time to go out there and really kind of like hit the ground running with everything, you know? So and that was kind of the whole point, I believe, of having all those super Star Destroyers with, you know, with the mini Death Star tech, is just because they were like trying to like find a better way to like, you know, control the galaxy under threat of a loaded gun versus anything else. But so there's really no need. I don't think the remnants of the First Order are going to be, because if they do anything with the remnants of the First Order, it's going to be Thrawn. Everyone's just going to go, that looks like Thrawn.
Yeah.
So I just see it all. I see everything taking place in these 25 years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. That's what I see.
I think that's a sweet spot right there for a lot of those projects. I'm hearing this too, Matt, from the same person who gave me the Thrawn one years ago. Told me that there's going to be a major name drop in Ahsoka, in the same way that Thrawn was in the Mandalorian.
What would be a major, like, how, like, or okay, what are we talking here? Like OT, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy? Where, I mean, what's going to be the big name drop that people are going to lose their shit over?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But he said that there is a major name drop that's going to shake fandom the way that Thrawn did. I mean, that just crashed the internet when Thrawn was like mentioned, like, holy shit.
Only one, I'm not lying, only one name would come to my mind at that one. And it wouldn't necessarily break the fandom or break the internet, but it would definitely, that would be Starkiller.
Oh God. Yeah, that would.
I mean, now hear me out on this one. Just a theory, a theory. I've always wondered why they called Ilum Starkiller Base. I understand the concept of it sucking the energy from the sun, it being a star. I get it. All right, I get that. But it still seemed like a little bit too on the nose. You know, it just seemed like a little bit too on the nose for this kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of, and then I say that today because I'm see if I can find the tweet real quick. It just all kind of feels like it's what brought it in my mind was Star Wars Theory, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but he put out a tweet earlier today. And he was asking for kind of like a restore the SnyderVerse type movement on Twitter. But he was saying here, all Star Wars fans blow this post up. The fans made Deadpool happen. Star Wars fans can make this happen. Disney, it doesn't have to fit your canon. Just give us a series starring Sam Witwer as Starkiller.
Wow.
And so it's like, and that was today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, Theory, I don't know what he knows. I know he's not necessarily liked by the people at Lucasfilm, but he's got a good point here. The fans did make Deadpool happen. The fans also made the Snyder Cut happen. The fans can move mountains if they are coordinated, and there is a lot of love for Sam Witwer, especially coming off of Maul and everything else. But him doing a Starkiller, and somehow finding it as a way to like be around to start, when they kind of turn Starkiller Base into a thing. I mean, that would be
there's a connection there somehow.
It would be like, look, the thing is, people would lose their mind on that connection. They would. A lot of people. Well, they'd lose it in a good way, and they'd lose it in a bad way. To be fair, they would lose it like that, and it would be hysterical to see overall. Because I think, like, for one, I'd be game, I'd be down, I'd be so happy, because then it would make Starkiller canon, and I know a lot of people want Starkiller to be canon. So, and it's like, oh, Vader had a secret apprentice. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? Right? If Maul was able to take on Savage Opress as his apprentice and, kind of throw the whole rule of two thing into some weird, it's whatever you want to call it. And if you haven't seen Clone Wars and Savage Opress, Clancy Brown, and Sam Witwer working together as so good. So good. Clancy Brown. Oh, dude, I was telling my girlfriend about the stream earlier. I'm just like, we're going to be talking. Oh my God. I'm like, she's like, I don't know what the hell you're telling me right now. But she's like, but I'm happy you're happy. I'm like, I'm happy. Wasn't
Clancy Brown in Buckaroo Banzai?
Yes, he was. He was.
Yeah.
He was one of the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
That's right.
He was also the Kurgan in Highlander. And I'm wondering, quick segue back to Henry Cavill. In the Highlander, is he going to be the Kurgan or is he going to be Highlander? That's a tough one. I think Kurgan. my money's on Kurgan. He likes playing the bad guy. Mission Impossible Fallout. Just saying. Anyway, so they're leading towards Heir to the Empire. It's going to obviously be an adaptation, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, and I don't know, are they going to do the whole trilogy into that limited 6 episodes, or is it going to be the first book?
I don't think so. I think it'll be the first book. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, it's a trilogy of books, and clearly. That's gonna be the wildest thing for me, because I honest to God do not know anything about. I know about the books, I know about the main players, and I'm excited for that. And I was actually I found someone on YouTube who did this. They did an actual like fan made retelling of Heir to the Empire using CG, like, or using in-game graphics or something.
That's ambitious.
They did the whole first book. And I think they based it off of maybe more of like maybe the Marvel comic of it. They did the comic adaptation, but I was trying to watch it, and it's like, it's in like 6-minute chunks, so I gotta like load it up and like on a playlist. But a lot of people I think are gonna learn about this. And here's the other thing with this too: this opens the door to the Legends. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So I think I think that's going to be a lot of fun to see where things go. Okay, hold on here.
It just screams of Feige, man, like pulling things out from different stories and like different eras and
Well, okay, so I was just sent. Thank you for this one by the Rational Skeptic. He just sent me this, and then I'm going to get to some super chats real quick too. But he just sent me. God, if I could find the damn thing. It's like, well, no, my download folder and it's just got messed up. So this timeline of events here. So this is like, I guess, a canonical timeline. Well, canonical. It's a timeline, to say the least. So we've got like a bunch of stuff here. Okay, so, oh shit. Okay, So the Force Unleashed here, it seems to pull from Knights of the Old Republic. And I mean, I don't know the connection, to be honest with you. I honest to God, can't think of it right now. However, Knights of the Old Republic is what it was when Dan and Dave from Game of Thrones were going to come on and like tackle it. It was rumored that they wanted to go. Yeah. Well, they didn't renew their contract.
Yeah.
But it was rumored that they were going to be tackling Knights of the Old Republic. And if they did KOTOR, I mean, look, you want to see fans lose their mind, Mikey, and I mean this literally. If you want to see fans, Star Wars fans, like literally cream their jeans, if they do something with like, if they mention the name Revan, if you hear the name Revan, you stop what you're doing and you call me. All right, that's not a request, motherfucker. I will find you. You're 30 minutes away. Anyway, no, but like, it's if they do a KOTOR. And they make that a thing, and then they start working on KOTOR 2, and they start giving us those storylines. You will see fans, their brains, their minds, their bodies will melt, and that will be like I'm not even making that up. Like again, it's like they can sit there and they push the High Republic, which whatever. I think it's just fine, but that's clearly meant for an international, i.e., Chinese audience. To get them into it. But if they go 4,000 years back to the Knights of the Old Republic and give us something on that, which is what everyone has been asking for, and they drop Revan, it's all over. It's all over. You know what? Marvel can sit there and go, we have Galactus, and then Star Wars fans are like, we have Revan. Eat shit, bitch.
Well, here's the interesting part, Matt. Kevin Feige's Star Wars project is a real mystery. Like, no one knows really what it is. And a lot of people have told me, but what they know is that Feige is pulling something from his younger days that he loves about Star Wars. So it's existing material.
Okay.
And that's all we know. All we know is that it's existing material. He loves Star Wars more than Marvel Comics. He's more of a Star Wars fan. That's his first love with Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. And that's why we're all like, I mean, listen, the man's done a lot for Marvel. I don't want to see him step down, but if he wanted to like take a sabbatical and like head over and be like, hey, yo, Kathy, if you want to take a break, I got this. I just want to flex some different muscles. Yeah. Again, no one would if you have, because Favreau and Feige, they're friends. They're good friends. Yeah. They've teamed up before. They started the MCU. Yeah. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are excellent friends as well. There's clearly a through line there. There's clearly a lot of love there. It's like, just make this happen. That's the Trinity. That's our Trinity. That's our Star Wars Trinity right there. We need the Feige, Filoni, and Favreau, the 3 Fs. All right. Like, that's not a coincidence. It's ordained by God.
Well, it's
I've had a lot of caffeine getting prepped for this, by the way.
There's a weird Doomcock inspired rumor now that because Michael Waldron was hired, that they're going to do the multiverse thing, because like that's all Michael Waldron is capable of doing, right?
Yeah.
But this is pure speculation here. I have no idea. But Feige being the hardcore Star Wars fan, the guy used to collect everything Star Wars. He read all these like manuals, all other shit. He would memorize the shit, right? So if you're going back to his younger days, what if, Matt? What if, just throwing it out there, what if it's Knights of the Old Republic that he wants to do?
Well, I mean, like that. So that came out in 2003. That was a BioWare game in 2003. Okay. But it came out at a very like auspicious time, right? Yeah, yeah. So it came out a year after the release of Attack of the Clones. And Attack of the Clones was like, look, people were coming off of The Phantom Menace with like a massive glow. You know, like only 20 years later, like the movie is not perfect, but I still love it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's there's so much I can't defend with that movie, but I still like it. Attack of the Clones has grown on me exponentially. But back when I was 2002, I was 20 years old when that came out. And so it's like, you're watching it and you're like, it's good, but something about it didn't feel right at the time. And then a year later, you get this massive, ambitious Star Wars RPG from BioWare with excellent characterizations, excellent writing, one of the coolest twists in all of video game history that has still lived on for years. And I mean, look, even Anna, that Star Wars girl, who I fundamentally dislike completely, was playing KOTOR on stream the other day and had friends, had a ton of people watching her because they still love KOTOR. So if Feige was playing that game, and I would love to ask him, actually, if I could ever ask him that, I would ask him that question and to see what he says, because I could see, you know, him kind of getting into that, like Henry Cavill getting into The Witcher.
Well,
you know?
Like, he probably was playing the game. He was such a huge fan. But what I'm thinking, Matt, okay, if he's
wait, are you talking about like Shadow of the Empire?
The time of nice little. What's Shadow of the Empire?
Okay, because that would be the 90s. Shadow of the Empire was a whole thing in the 90s. There was it was a game, it was books, it was a comic. They treated the release of Shadows of the Empire like it was the next movie. You know, a couple years before The Phantom Menace, and that was a big publishing initiative from Lucasfilm. And that could be also, that's something that a lot of people really want. They want either Dark Forces.
That would be his younger
That would be younger
days,
self. Like, you have like Dark Forces 1, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast, I think Jedi Academy. There's a ton of games. Oh my God, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Ton of those games from back in the day on Lucas. I mean, if Feige is a gamer, and I don't know if he is, I've never actually heard him talk about it, but like if you're talking old school, like pre-KOTOR, I mean, we're going back to like serious, like, you know, old ass games here that were fun. I mean, like, I'm just saying, if I hear again, Shadows of the Empire, I will come. All right. Like, that game wasn't the greatest in the world, but I remember it distinctly as a kid and going like, this is a new Star Wars adventure. Yeah. And a lot of people out there really love it. And I think I'm sorry. I'm like, I know I'm all over the place. I apologize. But that to me is just really cool. I'm totally down for that.
I'm older than Feige, so in the early 90s, I was in my 20s, so he'd be in his teens. And that's when he was really heavily into Star Wars. You gotta think, Feige, what is the iconic Star Wars from the past that hasn't been adapted yet? That may have been it.
Maybe. Because, I mean, the 90s had some stuff, but it was just all comics and it was all books and the games and everything. So
because he's not going to start with anything small. It's Feige. It's going to be huge. Whatever it is, it's going to be humongous. You know?
Yeah. I mean, even, oh my God, there's like a ton of super chats to get to here. But yes, like, it's just, there is, I mean, for me, like, there's a lot there. And again, I think if it's Shadows of the Empire, which let me bring that up real quick. Yeah. Let me just go and quickly bring that up, because I want to make sure Shadows of the Empire. All right. Let me bring up on well, hold on. Is that Wikipedia? Yeah. Okay. There we go. So, okay. I'm having so much fun on the stream, by the way. I give you no idea.
It's just a blast.
Oh my God. I've been like just dying to talk Star Wars and everything. Like, and thank you guys, by the way, for all being here. Thank you, Mikey, for your time. I know we're coming up on midnight.
It's a blast. It's a
blast. I know you probably can't go past midnight, but it will be all good. All right. So Shadows here is what's the publisher summary of this? All right. So it's a time of crisis. Han Solo, frozen in carbonite, is being taken by Jabba. Princess Leia mounts a rescue mission. Darth Vader scours the galaxy for Luke Skywalker. Another sinister figure emerges. Cunning and ruthless leader of a powerful crime syndicate, he will pit himself against Vader for the favor of the mutual master, the dreaded Emperor. And this is the thing where it's like you've got like you've got the other books here that precede it and follow it. So it's a whole other franchise. It's a whole other series. And this could be what I think a lot of people might want to see. I would have no thought against them going and adapting this, but that's going to come later on. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to come later on. Definitely after everything with Heir to the Empire, this might be the next thing on the docket to go back a little bit and to give us those stories as well. And then to tie that in, because again, think of it like this. Rogue One, was a prequel to A New Hope. Obviously we all know that, but it opened up the world a bit. It gave us a little bit more of that timeline that we love. and it did it excellently. So this takes place in between Empire and you know, Return of the Jedi, which is another fantastic era to explore. So like, you know, what if like we start getting a bunch of stuff from them? Like, what if we get what happens in between? You know, there's a lot they could do, and I've never really thought about them going back and exploring this section of it.
Yeah.
And if this is,
yeah, well, because whatever he's doing, that it obviously takes place in the past.
yeah,
Obviously, he's not gonna create a new storyline that like 1,000 years after whatever's, you know, happened. It's just it's set in the past. It's his younger days.
yeah, it's yeah. Let me look up here. When was Kevin Feige born? Kevin Feige born. He was born June 2nd, 1973. So he's only 48 years old.
Yeah,
and,
so he was 23 when this came out. That's still young. That's young.
Yeah. What was he doing in the 1980s? Let me take a look here. Like, what, if I could find out, what was he doing in the 1980s? Now, he applied for the University of, he went to USC, and he's an alma mater of George Lucas, Ron Howard, Robert Zemeckis. And then in 2000, he was hired as a producer. But before then, his early work included being executive or an assistant to Lauren Schuler Donner on Volcano, which came out in 1997, which means it was shot in 1996. So he would have been an assistant to her when he was 23 years old, when if he would have been reading this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, just looking at his, you know, everything he has done has, for the most part, been comic book related. For 20 years now, this is what he's done. And I mean, I could totally see him absolutely going for the rest of that. Holy shit. Like, just holy shit.
Because if we go back to, let's say, right, totally doing totally detective work right now. If we go back to the 80s, I don't recall any big Star Wars novels coming out then, except for the Han Solo books. But we're talking 90s here, Matt. Because that's when the new wave of Star Wars novels were coming out.
Yeah.
And so I remember it was after the Dark Empire comic book, all of a sudden, you know, you started getting all these new Star Wars stories. Because the 80s were all Marvel comic Star Wars. I don't think he means that. I think it's Kevin Feige. It's some iconic Star Wars lore.
Well, clearly he's a fan. Well, clearly, I can't say it, like Favreau's a fan of Dark Empire, because the Dark Troopers played into Mando season 2. And that came out 91 to 95 is when that series came out. Dark Empire 1, Dark Empire 2, and Empire's End. And so when that came out, I mean, obviously that influenced him enough to put that in this, which means that I wouldn't be surprised if they're talking long term. How can we go back and adapt some of these cool stories? Because here's the thing. The number one way to get back in favor, the number one way to destroy the fandom menace, and I mean this literally, is to go back and make Legends canon. Because that is the underlying element that pushed them as far as they did, because that was already anger that was there, and The Last Jedi just kind of bubbled it over the top. But if they go back and they just go, yeah, so these books you like, we're going to find ways to adapt them and to tell these stories. And then also, you know, again, following the OT, that 25 years, that 25, you know, year thing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get, you know, the Battlefront 2 storyline with Operation Cinder. And Iden Verso's character, because she's popular amongst new fans who played Battlefront 2. And that's a pretty, you know, I mean, the storyline's okay. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's like, I think it would be a fun movie, or at least a TV show maybe, of having, you know, a dark, no, I forget what she was. She was, I forget which trooper she was, but you know, she worked for the Empire, having her then turn over and work with the rebellion and meet up with Luke Skywalker and do all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that they could pull from and give us these. Oh my God, she could even be in the Mandalorian world, because the Mandoverse is all around. Oh my God, there's so much. Oh God,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
There's so much they could do.
Because we can take Heir to the Empire off the table now. I mean, so it's not that. So it's got to be one of those Shadows of the Empire or Knights of the Old Republic. It's got to be one of those.
It's got to
Gotta
be.
be.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Really
I mean,
iconic. We're talking theatrical, so the Star Wars fans have to love this property.
and these are books. These are comics. These can be serialized. These can be released as seasons. These can do all of those things that that you couldn't do in a movie. You know what I mean? And I think and I I wouldn't be surprised if at the same time, because going to kind of talking about Marvel, you've also got the whole thing there of they're also talking about doing movies for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So it's not just the TV shows. The TV shows are good, but the movies, because they're going to compete with DC on that front. That's my take, at least.
Yep, they are. They are, yeah.
And so they could do the movies and build out there. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Star Wars films that are made for Disney Plus that are going to be coming out.
Rian Johnson comes in. So,
he could do. If he did his stuff, for Disney Plus, you know what? It wouldn't be cinematic, and it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be theatrical, which would take away some of that sting, I guess. And but I don't know. Here's the thing: I don't know if Rian Johnson would do Disney Plus, if I'm being honest with you. And I say that because he, Looper, Brick, Knives Out, Last Jedi, they've all done relatively well in their space.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, a lot of these, feature film directors don't want to take their feature films and put them on streaming. They'd want it to be seen in a big space. But then again, Knives Out,
Nolan, right? Like Chris Nolan doing,
yeah, but then again, Knives Out 1, 2, and 3 paid for by Netflix, but they also signed a deal with Cinemark to put original films into theaters. So to get a theatrical run for those things. So you could see that being like him shooting a movie, then putting it out for a couple weeks in theaters, and then dropping it down to Disney Plus, I guess. I don't know. I mean, look, again, right now, everything up in the air. It's all up in the air.
The future is unpredictable. Now we have no idea.
We have no idea what's going to happen. We have no idea where things are going. But I mean, honest to God, it's the most excited I've been in a long time. I mean, it's just like the prospect of what's coming, and it's not just like Mando. It's like season 2 of Bad Batch. I love season 1 of Bad Batch. It's Mando season 3's Book of Boba Fett. It's Ahsoka. It's whatever the Rangers of the New Republic's going to be. The Heir to the Empire. Everything else they're working on. It's so freaking cool. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, I can't wait for Boba Fett. I'm going to be seeing it a couple of days early. So.
Now, are you going to LA, or are they just showing it to you through a screener?
Through streaming, yeah. So Matt, believe me, I will tell you.
Oh, I'm driving to your house. All right, because again, you're 30 minutes away from me. I will bring the snacks.
Okay, we will watch it together.
All right. And if you want me to tug you off while we're there, I can make exceptions. It's all good. So, I'm willing to pay it forward. I'm looking forward to Book of Boba Fett, whatever they show with that's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be great. All right. We are coming up on 11:50. I don't know how much time.
Yeah, I got to get going. But
you got to get going. Okay, great.
This is one of my best streams you've done, Matt. That's probably the best stream you've done.
This is so much fun. I was like, I had a massive headache before even coming on stream tonight. I was like, oh, I'm just tired. My daughter's still awake. I just want to hang with my kid, and then it's like, once we get into it, it's been like, holy crap, man. I can't, if you guys, like, here's the thing, guys, in the chat. If you guys are happy with this kind of coverage, if you guys like this kind of coverage, this positive, amped up, hyped up, total fucking shit, let me know. Let Mikey know. Check out geekositymag.com. Obviously, congrats on the 1 year.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love coming here, dude. So let's do more of these. This is fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's absolutely great.
We're totally geeking out tonight, which is great. You don't
so much fun.
YouTube often, usually such negative, but here we are, like, trying to figure out what Kevin Feige is doing.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, and this is for the chat right now, because I want to keep geeking out. There's the link right there. We'll do a quick call-in stream. We'll get a few people on in. We'll have a conversation about it. Yeah. So, but everyone, again, check out geekositymag.com.
Thank you,
Mikey has got stuff coming all the time.
Yeah.
Thanks again for being here, man. Had a lot of fun.
This is some of the most fun I've had, dude. I just being able to geek out. I feel like I'm at a convention talking to a fan, right? Like fellow fan. We're just like speculating, like, what's Feige gonna do, But man, that whole Shadows of the Empire really makes sense, man. I really think that's one of the two things that he could be possibly looking at, because we know it's existing material. It is.
Oh, yeah, no, that's, yeah, and he's definitely good at giving us, at adapting old content, but giving us something new in the process.
Yeah.
So
I definitely, the internet will just crash, man.
I know. I want to know whatever this, whatever this next name is. If they said the fandom, if it's Kyle Katarn, that's going to be like, or Revan. Or
I will try and thank you for letting me know, because that way, if I hear something like that, I can tell you right away. It's that person, because that's one thing I was concerned about. That if you give me a name, I have no idea who it is and how popular the character is. But there's a name drop in Ahsoka. You said it's a pretty significant name drop if you're a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And
so I mean, that's going to be a pretty big deal. I think a lot of us are going to have a lot of fun with what's going to be coming down the pipeline. Yeah. And when we get to a point, like they're going to get to a point where they start pushing things out, like Marvel is, where it's like every 3 months is a new show.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like maximum Star Wars content. Yeah. Sure, you're going to have people out there that are going to be bad mouthing it, but if it's anywhere near as good as Mandalorian, there's not going to be a hook there for them to get, there's nothing going to be there for them to get their hooks into. Because
up until Gina Carano being fired,
but even then they called her a Mary Sue when she premiered in Chapter 4.
Right. That's right.
They were like, she beat Mando in a fight. Blah blah. She's a fucking shock trooper. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ! But then all of a sudden,
Carano, come on, she's kind of kick ass.
Like, do you really think that Gina Carano wouldn't beat Pedro Pascal in a fight? Or actually, and that was, I forget the name of the stunt guy in that one. That wasn't Brendan Wayne, because he's the gunslinger. John Wayne's grandson is the Mandalorian stunt double for all of the gunslinging stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it wasn't him. It was another guy whose name right now I forget. But yeah, it's so dumb. Like, let's talk about it. Let's have fun. This is why we're here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be a damn Star Wars fan again. But all right. Okay, Mikey, I'll let you go, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys, everybody.
Yeah, come on in. If you guys remember, check out geekositymag.com.
One more thing, Matt. Tuesday, new Batman trailer. Tuesday
on
night.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So wait,
night.
hold on. Okay, fuck you. God damn it. So what you're saying is like Monday.
Yeah.
Is Spider-Man.
Yeah, No Way Home. Yeah.
And then Tuesday is Batman. Oh, yeah. Is that the Warner Brothers CinemaCon thing?
Yeah.
They're going to put out a trailer literally 2 months before, like a month and a half, really, before DC Fandom.
Apparently they are.
Oh my God! They must be hurting right now. They must be really hurting right now.
But it's, you got Spider-Man Day Before, which is going to be tough to beat. You have Garfield and Maguire in there.
And that's only if they're in the trailer. Only if they're in the trailer. I did put out a video today talking about the trailer and about whether or not I can live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't know if it can. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I put this one out today over on Real Board. Can it live up to the hype? I don't know, because when you think about it, the idea of everything is like, I mean, they have so much to fill with all of these rumors and speculation that I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Andrew and Toby in the first trailer. I just don't. But I think there might be a hint, a tease,
The thing is, though, it's Sony. They have a habit of showing too much.
Oh, I know. Sony, I know. I said earlier, Sony's not doing very good financially, at least in their...
Yeah.
Someone's like, but they just spent $1 billion on Crunchyroll. And it's like, their anime department is not the same as their theatrical department. Like, there's budgets. Sony Pictures is not doing as well as a lot of other places. Anyway, it's all a thing. But all right, man. I mean, like,
hey, man, this is the best, man. This was so much fun, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll have to do a deep dive into like Shadows of the Empire when that information comes out.
That'd kick ass, dude. That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mikey.
Hey,
we'll talk soon. All right. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mikey, for Sutton from geekositymag.com coming in for almost 2 hours. My God, that was a long time. All right. There are a lot of super chats that I have to get to that I am very, very, very sorry that we missed. That was very much a long conversation, but you know what? Totally cool. Totally worth it. Rational Skeptic here with $2 says, I heard rumors they might do a new Jedi Order. I don't think we're anywhere near being done with Luke Skywalker, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't see that as being a thing at all. I think we're going to get a lot more Luke after that. I just don't know how they're going to do it, whether it's going to be Sebastian Stan or if it's going to be CG. I don't quite know. H. Bart's here with $5, man. Thank you. Says, what if JJ did all three or Ryan did The Rise of Skywalker? What were Leia's original plans before Carrie passed? Well, the thing is I think they what they were going to do effectively was the first movie was Han, the second movie was Luke, and the third movie would have been Leia as primary, right? So Leia would have been a big part dealing with Kylo. I think having the connection with the son, the mother-son dynamic, the relationship, everything else. And they had to drop that, which is why they brought in Harrison Ford for that quick cameo at the end of Taras, is because, or in the middle of that, because they needed that to be the catalyst to push him back towards the light. And I think that's why they did it. Otherwise, I don't know what their plans were. With any luck, we'll maybe find out one day. Simon here with $2, man. Thank you. Says, spoilers in the book Mara Jade. Lando hit it first. Well, good for Lando. I'm very happy for Lando. We'll have to wait and see how that whole thing plays out. All right, let me just kind of quickly drive back up. All right, I might have missed a couple super chats here. I will get to the ones I can get to, then I'll go back and I'll find the ones that I wasn't able to. Andrew Dunbar here, $5, man. Thank you, Andrew. Says, Shadows of the Empire. They had John Williams score new music for it. I need to listen to that. I don't think I've ever heard it. But that's what I mean. That is such a massive thing here. That's going to be like, again, I think we're going to be getting KOTOR, maybe Shadows of the Empire. You know, Rogue Squadron is coming. That's a big thing. You know, I know Yvonne here says the 3 Rogue Squadron games, if I recall, weren't there only 2, but it is that. Kira here says, isn't KOTOR set thousands of years before the Phantom Menace? Yes, it's set 4,000 years before the original trilogy. So, but it's got a through line with the Sith and everything else that a lot of people like it. So let's see. Simon here says, Shadows of the Empire, played the game, read the book, too much sexual innuendo for Star Wars. Yeah, they'll edit that out, though. They'll edit that out. Andrew here, another $2, man. Thank you. Says, lesbian Chewbacca only, if only, right? That'd be, you know, that would probably be like the worst smelling wet dog ever. Command unit here, 15 shekels. Thank you, man. It says, Henry Cavill is a huge 40K fan. He actually painted 40K miniatures on video. I really want him to play Fishig in the Eisenhorn TV show. You know what? Here's the thing, man. Once The Witcher is done, whatever they do with that, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind going over. If he's making enough money, he strikes me as the kind of guy who is just going to want to do what he wants to do, you know? And maybe he's ready to move past Superman. I know a lot of people out there don't want to hear that, but you know, I think he's happier doing Witcher, to be honest with you. All right, let me drop the link one more time. Melissa Lord, $2 here. It says, make HEIR canon. Yes, Matt, you think Favreauverse will do it? I would hope so. Look, the name drop of Thrawn, Melissa, is going to lead to Heir of the Empire. Thrawn being in Rebels is going to lead to Heir of the Empire. That's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's going to be kind of interesting. All right. So let me just play catch up here. See if I missed anything. All right. I think we're okay. We got Rational Skeptic here with 5 more bucks. Thanks, buddy. New Jedi Order is like Star Wars Endgame, where they face off the Yuzong Vaughn. Oh shit. Well, there we go. If they're building up Thrawn, then it would make sense that they would eventually go down that particular path. I'd be okay with that one here. Davey asking the question, Star Wars Vision, what did you think, man? I saw that trailer. I'm not an anime fan. We joke about anime here all the time. That shit looked fucking lit. I am on board to see that. I am very on board to see that. So that's going to be pretty cool. But thank you very much for the comment there. All right. So let's see. Melissa Lord, Shadows of the Empire, hashtag Prince Sizor. Zizor. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Hashtag Dash Rendar. Yeah, if Dash is the name, that's going to be a big one. Kira here says, lesbian Chewbacca brings a whole new meaning to the term muff diving. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. That's funny. That's pretty good. Let me just quickly double check that I have caught up on everything. Oh, Artie McFly sent a super chat. Sorry. That says Starkiller to be the baddie in Jedi Fallen Order 2. That would be cool. That would be very cool. Who put out The Force Unleashed? Who published that one? That was published by LucasArts Activision THQ. So I don't know if they were able to get their, I don't know how those rights would play out, to be honest with you. With any luck, they'd make it work, to be fair. Thank you for that. I'm very sorry that I missed that one. Command Unit here talked about the rule of 2. It says it's just a rule to prevent Sith infighting. Thank you very much for that, Command Unit. And that makes sense. Andrew Dunbar with another $2 super chat says, what if the name drop was Picard? That would be great. That would be hysterical. Rational here with $2 says, I sent you a picture of the Star Wars timeline. Thank you. We already got to that. Command Unit here with another super chat. 40K Star Wars crossover. When Marvel Comics has published a few 40K comics, and Dan Abnett, top 40K writer, wrote a lot of Marvel comics. Well, maybe they will. You never know. You never really know what exactly is going to happen with any of this stuff. It could be anything. It's well, hold on, let me just let's see here. Okay. Andrew here just says the name drop could be Joris Kaboth, which that name, let's see here. He was a male human from the planet of Bortus who served in the Jedi Order during the final decades of the Republic Classic era. Like Jedi Master Dooku, Kaboth was arrogantly sure of his own skills and talents, believed himself to be a peerless warrior and philosopher, and viewed non-Force sensitives as inferior. All right, he was xenophobic. A controversial figure among his own peers, he was regarded as the epitome of a Jedi Master by some, while others were distrustful of him. That would be an interesting character to see played out, just because that would be, again, it's a very mysterious character. There would be some more things. All right. Yeah, hold on. I'll take a quick look here. I guess I can't zoom in, unfortunately, with this timeline, but you've got, I mean, there's connections to everything here. I think we'll have to go through this again when I can actually zoom in on it. But in the meantime, I did drop the link. We got a couple people that are waiting in the back. By all means, feel free to block some of the crazier people that come on in. And, okay, I saw this comment earlier from Reynaldo. I did want to get to it here. With Chapek leaving the creatives aside, how much freedom will Filoni and Favreau have? Look, the thing is, like, I don't know if he's going to be, they're going to have freedom, and they're probably going to be protected by Kathy if she sticks around, to be honest with you, because her job is going to be fighting for them and the rest of the Star Wars team with Walt Disney Studios, provided that the number crunchers take whoever the hell is taking over after Alan Horn leaves. That's going to be something there we're checking out. So I'm hoping that they leave them alone to do their thing, but at the same time, it's all going to do cost benefit analysis is what it's going to be. All right. And then, okay, real quick here. Melissa Lore, $2. Matt, thoughts on Kenobi? Just do well on it and much goodwill. That's all I want. I just want to be a cool story with Kenobi. I think Deborah Chow is going to knock it out of the park from a directorial standpoint. Having a rematch between Anakin, Vader, and Obi-Wan is going to be very, very awesome. And I don't know what else they're going to really do with that thing, but I'm in it, and I think they just wrapped production on it too. So we should be getting a trailer or at least a teaser as we get close to Disney Plus Day pretty soon. All right, so let's get into the phone calls. We'll do about maybe 30 minutes of this real quick, so I can go to bed at a decent hour this evening. But the first person has been trying to come on all week. I know I haven't been I don't say the nicest, but definitely been meaning to talk with him here. So, all right, everybody, let's give it up. You know him, you love him, you want to say hello, Anthony Chabot. Hey, Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
Good. CM Punk is now AEW now.
Yeah, people were really going crazy last night.
I want SummerSlam tonight. It sucked.
That's what I heard. I don't watch wrestling, so I literally have no idea.
What I got.
Oh, that's better than the Son of the Mask.
Yep, and I got this Spider-Man.
Which Spider-Man is that one? Doctor Doom Conquerors. Is that the animated show?
Animated, yes.
Oh wow, okay.
And I got this.
Nice, Mary Poppins.
Well, my birthday's coming up next week.
That's right, turning 38. What you doing?
Yep. Yep, and I'm thinking about buying a house.
Yeah, that's I saw you mention that in the chat. I don't really have any advice for you. Just get a good realtor and you know, like listen to what they have to say. Oh, well, Pennsylvania's, you know, I haven't been, so I don't know if it's nice or not.
It is nice. My uncle lives over there.
Okay. So are you going to buy it's your mom buying a house, right?
My mom and Lewis.
Okay.
We just celebrate Lewis's 67th birthday.
Nice, nice.
He still looks good for his age.
No, that's good, man. That's good. You got, I mean, 60 is the new 50, so. What?
I watched Loki, 3 episodes of Loki.
Nice. What do you think?
Awesome.
Loki's that's good. Wait till you get to the end. Wait till you get to the end.
But the thing is, I like the first 2 episodes with the end titles in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, the whole series is fantastic. So definitely work your way through that one.
My mom I was watching Space Jam and everything. I'm doing good and everything. You know, Moon Knight's gonna be exciting. I saw the costume.
Nice. Yeah, Moon Knight's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking about not staying here that long. I just watched SummerSlam. I had, you know, a lot of interesting things from me.
Yeah, I mean, what is I don't know anything about SummerSlam. I don't know anything about that.
SummerSlam's wrestling.
Okay.
And I'm not going to New York Comic Con.
Yeah. What are you listening to right now?
A YouTuber named Sean James.
Oh, okay. So you're
I got 235 subscribers.
Nice, man. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, yeah. You know what? Hey, man, keep us informed for what you're doing for your birthday.
All right. Well, I have no plans yet.
Well, you know what, man? Hey, listen, we're only a couple days away from Shang-Chi, so, you know,
Shang-Chi,
maybe
I'm going to take my mom and Lewis to go see that.
Good, man. Good. You should totally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, man. Hey, I'm going to let you go. But thanks for calling on in, buddy. We'll talk soon. All right. Thank you very much for that one, Anthony there. Music Man here says, I heard SummerSlam was good. Based upon my Twitter feed, Music Man, you're the only person that is saying that SummerSlam was good. I don't know. I don't watch any of that stuff. I was watching like some Netflix Chinese animated movie that I think was probably better. Anyway, Yvonne, how you doing?
How you doing, Matt?
I'm okay, man. I'm doing pretty good. This has been a fun stream, so I'm feeling pretty good about everything.
It's like a special edition. Your special edition because Matt, Mikey Sutton.
Yeah, Mikey Sutton. Yeah, he was going to be here last night, but you know, work. But one thing was we're to send you the timeline of Star Wars. Yeah,
and I'm a real fan about the caricature and the Star Killer. So the thing is that the thing that is based in the games is right before episode 4 and everything, because the emblem from the Rebel Alliance is the family crest from Star Killer.
Oh, really? I never played the games, to be honest with you.
Well, it's gonna be hard because it's only in PlayStation 3, and unless someone from Lucas or Disney brings those games back, because there's a lot of info there, and so there's some good games and everything. Like the 3 games on Rogue Squadrons. The third one is a special one because it was the first 2. It was only space battles and in planet battles.
Yeah.
But the third one, you can go walking like Battlefront 2. You can go walking and do something ships and destroy anything. But it was a good game.
Oh, I didn't even know this came out.
Yeah.
It came out on the GameCube?
Yeah, on the GameCube.
2000. I didn't even know this came out.
Yeah.
How the hell? 2003. You know what? I might have just been like, because the very first game that I got was Rogue Squadron 2 for the GameCube. That was because that was a launch title, and that was the very first game I bought for it. I did not know that there was a Rogue Squadron 3. How the fuck did I not know this?
Maybe because the PlayStation 2 was the commotion of everyone.
I mean, it might have been that time. It might have been like I got you know what it was? 2003. I got an Xbox is what happened. And so, because I remember I just turned 21, and when did this come out? It came out October. Okay. Yeah. So that, yeah, okay, fine. So what happened with that was I got Legend of Zelda Wind Waker the week I turned 21. And then I got an Xbox on my 21st birthday. And then I just played Halo. So that was kind of like, after that, my GameCube gaming kind of died down. So it's entirely possible that I just had like put my GameCube away at that point in time and was just pretty much predominantly focused on Xbox. That's probably what happened.
Also, they were saying that they're going to try to make a Rogue Squadron series or movie. Yeah,
that is what Patty Jenkins is doing with her next movie, which comes out in 2023. I find it to be like, here's my thing with this, right? Is I don't have an issue with Patty Jenkins. It's not the one I wanted. It's I don't have an issue with her at all. But it's kind of like, I'm also not too sure necessarily how I feel like here, because while I got you here, it's only a minute and a half. I'll play you the this is what they showed us last year. This is a little teaser that to kind of tell us about Patty Jenkins and what she's up to. So here, give this a listen.
I love to move fast and speed of any kind. I think that that's because I grew up the daughter of a great fighter pilot, and every day I would wake up and go outside and look up, see my father and his squadron taking off in their F-4s, roaring across the sky, and it was the most thrilling thing still I've experienced in my entire life. So when he lost his life in service to this country, it ignited a desire in me to turn all of that tragedy and thrill into one day making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time. But try as I might and look as I did, I couldn't find the right story ever. I kept looking and looking, but I just couldn't find the right one until now. Now I found a movie about two things I love. So I'm going to see you very soon.
So yeah, that's what's going to be coming out on December of 2023.
That's very awesome. Because, well, I haven't read the comics from Rogue Squadron, but I read two books I have when in my younger years, and they were called The Right Squadron. It's like, I think like a Black Ops for Rogue Squadron. But the funny thing is that they have, the characters are like a mismatch, but the funny thing is they have what's the race? The one there, the Guardians from the Jabba Palace, the Porkies.
Yeah.
Okay. The Garodian. I think that they have a pilot, Garodian, or no, I don't know. I'm pronouncing bad. The Gamorrean Guardian.
Gamorrean. That's it. Yeah, Gamorrean. Yeah.
As a pilot, X-wing pilot. They say what? And the funny thing is that also they have an Ewok pilot.
They have an Ewok pilot?
Nah, it's just a joke because it's a pilot. It's a human pilot, but he places an Ewok plush toy like a pilot in that novel, and it was what the hell? And also they put it like the pilot makes they take out TIE fighter, and he was flying the TIE fighter, but in the window of the spaceship you see an Ewok pilot in the TIE fighter.
Okay,
it's a good novel. It's only have two of those novels from Right Squadron, based on the Rogue Squadron timeline.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know what they're going to do with that. I forget who the writer of it is. Who's writing Patty? Who is writing Rogue Squadron? Matthew Robinson, and Matthew Robinson is, what has he done before? He co-wrote and co-directed the 2009 comedy The Invention of Lying. Okay. I mean, the guy, well, he wrote Dora and the Lost City of Gold, apparently. And he wrote Monster Trucks from 2016.
Okay.
But apparently he also did his what else did he do here? Let's see, writer. Okay, so oh no, I was wrong. He only wrote The Bench, I guess. Well, he's not listed as much as being on here. I might be looking at the wrong guy. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong guy. Let me look at Patty Jenkins on IMDb. See what she's got here, because there are people with multiple same names, right? They got multiple same names over there. All right, Rogue Squadron is being Matthew Robinson. Okay, cool. So I got the right guy this time. He's writing. Okay, so he did the story for Monster Trucks. He wrote the screenplay for Dora and the Lost City of Gold. He wrote the screenplay for Love and Monsters, which apparently was really good. However, he has been tapped to write the screenplay for Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. So the sequel to Edge of Tomorrow. And then he's also doing writing the remake of Little Shop of Horrors. Which I'm not too sure how I feel about that, because why would you in any way try to top? Why would you in any way try to top the Frank Oz movie? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Why would you even? It's so dumb, so dumb. But anyway, Hollywood is devoid of originality. We know that at this point. So there's definitely the thing. All right, so Davey Crotchkick made a pretty compelling argument to be a moderator, and he's now a moderator. So thank you very much, Davey, for your service. But all right. So, okay, man. Well, hey, listen, I got some more people to get to before I wrap it up, but I appreciate you coming on by.
Okay.
And we'll definitely talk again soon. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, man. Have yourself a great one. And peace out.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Let us get to Kermit. It is H-Bar. It's okay. But I can't see the entire name here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. How's it going?
It's Kermit Buck Theater.
Kermit Buck Theater. Okay. You were trying to finally assign the ownership, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've had some competition this month. That's all I'm going to say. You've had some competition this month. So
yeah, but we're still rebooting you as the Three Buck Theater.
As the Three Buck Theater? Okay. Is it going to be a lot more violence and gore?
Yeah, James Gunn's directing.
Okay, cool. So he'll definitely talk about the duck vagina. That will definitely be a talk. Okay. That's good. That's going to go in my tombstone, right? It's going to be like, here lies Matt Jarbo, and in quotation marks, it's like, ducks have a choose your own adventure vagina.
Oh no.
That's gonna be the final. Be like, what the fuck was this guy on? It'll be like nothing. He was just crazy.
So earlier tonight, I watched Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's arguably the worst movie in the franchise.
I thought it was okay.
It's like, don't get me wrong, it's fun. All right. When I say worst, I don't mean that in a bad way. But like, John Singleton directed that one, and like it felt like it was so, like they have like those spikes that shoot out the EMP blast that take out cars.
Yeah, that was weird.
And that kind of comes back later on in like Fast 6, by the way, but like it's a different variation of it. But it was so weird, like just the way that movie played out. Like when they're racing and that Mustang gets crushed by the semi, like, and no one cares. Like they're racing down Miami, like in the freeways, and someone just gets killed.
It was so standalone.
It was meant, yeah. That's also because of Vin Diesel not wanting to do it.
Really?
Yeah. So Vin Diesel didn't want to come back. I think because he was working on Chronicles of Riddick, right, at the time, and he didn't want to come back to it. So they decided to go and expand offward with Paul Walker's character. And I mean, look, that's great because it introduced Tyrese as well as Ludacris, and I'm like, awesome, that they're great additions to the franchise. However, it wasn't until we don't see Vin Diesel again until the end of Fast 3. Fast 3, because he shows up as a cameo at Tokyo Drift, but he did that, and instead of getting paid $500,000 for that little cameo, he negotiated the rights for Riddick back from Universal. So he did the cameo because he thought he was kind of done at that point. So but he wanted to do another Riddick. And then after that is when they decided to go back in and kind of reboot the franchise with Fast and Furious in 2009. So a whole 8 years later. And then from there, you know, Fast 11 in 2010 or 2011, or Fast 5 in 2011. It just kicked everything off and made it all crazy. So
yeah, I watched Fast 4 as well tonight because I was watching them with my parents, and my mom was like, "Why are we skipping Tokyo Drift?" I'm like, "That takes place later on."
Yeah. Watch it chronologically.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that shit chronologically. You know, I stand by that.
Also, just to do it, I'm gonna hate on Real Elmilton while here tonight.
Okay, why?
Because him and his girlfriend were watching Casino Royale and they gave up halfway through.
You know what, man? I was on your girlfriend's side, Elmo. You know, I was like on your girlfriend's side. You guys know what I'm talking about, but no, man.
He said his girlfriend, what do you call it, doesn't like spy movies. It's like, but that's what Bond is. What is Bond is not a feel-good romantic comedy. You know, like you're not going to watch James Bond for like a stroll through the tulip fields while you whisper sweet nothings in each other's ears. That's not the thing. Anyway, yeah, Protoss here says, how do you stop watching Casino Royale? I know, it's so great.
He's like, that movie was fun. I don't know, maybe it was like a Netflix and chill situation. Even Music Man here is like, who stops watching Casino Royale half the way through? Exactly.
Tomorrow at work, he's gonna be like, bro, why did you say that?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna give him crap for it then. You know what? Like, wait till your girlfriend is like not there and finish watching it.
Oh, he said he's gonna finish watching the series.
Okay.
Because he wants to go see No Time to Die.
Ah, yeah. But you're probably gonna have to do it without your girlfriend. You know what? And that's okay. There's a lot of times we have to that ends up having to happen here. Hold on. Command unit says Kermit is my mortal nemesis.
Why?
I don't know.
Just because I don't like Warhammer.
I maybe. I don't know what's going on.
I don't mind the Warhammer regular stuff, but I don't like the Total War Warhammer.
Oh, there's a difference? I literally have no idea.
Total War Warhammer is a part of the Total War game series, which is like a historical strategy game.
Oh, okay.
And they've been doing way too many. They're already on the third one, well, instead of focusing on the historical titles now.
Oh, and okay, that's why you said they ruined your favorite franchise.
Yeah, because I prefer historical games in my historical series.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, I get that. I do get that. I mean, I don't know. I don't play any of those games. Like, but I mean,
has responded.
Oh, is it throwing down here? He says here, it will. I will. It seems good. She tried watching, but wasn't really into it. Yeah. I mean,
Bond.
But it's Bond. That's true. Shifty Gizmir says, No Time to Die and Spectre have the two absolute worst Bond themes ever.
No, they're good.
Well, I would say I don't think I've heard the Billie Eilish one. I don't think I've listened to it. I will say, though, Adele for Skyfall was amazing. Adele's Skyfall theme was awesome.
What?
She says Bond is ugly?
The fuck?
I don't know. I mean, look, Daniel Craig is in like his 50s. He's a British man in his 50s.
They went into this movie not expecting it to be British, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I don't think they're into British movies.
Don't watch Downton Abbey then.
Oh no, they would never watch that.
Don't watch Downton Abbey. That's a franchise. That's a movie that has me on the edge of my seat, but like no one else would get that. Although David here is asking, or Davey Kroshkick says, can you do the Kermit voice?
I actually can't. I suck at it.
So you have to get good.
I know.
Think of it like a game of Dark Souls and get good.
I'll try. What is your favorite Bond theme?
Man, you know, here's the thing, is like I like them, but like oftentimes I fast forward through them because I'm like, it's too fucking long. I want to get to the movie. You know?
I like watching the entire intro.
I mean, I'll watch it when I see it in theaters because I can't fast forward. But like if I'm at home, I'll just be like, all right, you know, sometimes like, I think what it was is like when I saw No Time to Die, not No Time to Die, sorry, The World Tomorrow Never Dies, that one. I always felt like the theme song for that was like, it just went on for too long, or I just might've been not feeling well and it just dragged. But the one for Casino Royale was really good. What was that one? Sam Smith? Was that Sam? It was the Counting
Sam
Crows
Smith
guy.
Did, Spectre.
Oh, okay. Oh, who's the one who did Casino Royale?
I think it was Chris something.
Chris Cornwell? I don't know.
I'm typing it in.
I don't know. You know what? It's kind of like does like, yeah, Chris Cornell, and then he's dead. He committed suicide. Okay, that's. I just want to make sure I got it right. Yes, and that's tragic.
I've actually been really enjoying the Sean Connery Bond films.
They're fun, man. They're all fun. They're all fun.
Finished You Only Live Twice.
Nice.
So next I'm on to Lazenby's only Bond film.
Oh, Her Majesty's Secret Service.
And then back to Diamonds Forever with Connery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's how it happens with those things. You have to all right, I got to get through this one.
Even though Never Say Never Again is not canon, I will watch it like the same, because it came out the same time as Octopussy. So right after Octopussy, I'll watch that one.
I get that. Real quick here, Andrew Dunbar with $2 says cloaca is the Latin word for sewer. I honest to God do not remember how that came to be, but okay. Thank you for that, Andrew. I don't know. Yeah, right. I mean, I am so out of date for like the older Bonds. I haven't watched them in years, so I need to go back and like rewatch them and enjoy them. I just got I rented Demonic. I want to watch that because it's Neil Blomkamp's new one. And that's the one that like apparently it's got like a 15% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes ever.
No, you can't. You really can't. Okay, hold on. Shifty Gism's correcting me. Or so is Kira. Cloaca. I don't fucking know. Cloaca. Whatever. Okay, sewer. Donde está la biblioteca? All right. Or donde está la house of pee-pee? I said that once in Mexico and I was really hammered. And they looked at me very funny. But I was also outside of a strip club that I didn't know was there.
Now, I gotta ask you this: who was the first Bond you remember actually seeing?
For me, it would have been Connery. It would have been Connery, because I remember seeing like I think I saw Dr. No first when I was younger, but then again, like I also jumped over to a bunch of Roger Moore, so I didn't see them in order. I just kind of saw them as they came. You know, whoever I was with at the time. It wasn't until Brosnan came on the scene. Like that was the first one I saw in theaters was GoldenEye because I was 14. Or no, GoldenEye that was 95. I was 13. And I really, I remember going to see it because my friend's dad was big into Bond and really liked GoldenEye. And then after that, I just started watching all of them in theaters. I kind of got to that age where I could like James Bond movies. I mean, even though, no, the only one I haven't seen was Die Another Day. I didn't see Die Another Day in theaters. But I did pick it up on DVD when it came out. And you know what? Asking me about like the themes I like, Madonna's theme for that was really good. I think Madonna did the theme for Die Another Day. It was pretty good.
My first Bond that I recognize seeing is Brosnan, just because of like video game covers and stuff like that. At Blockbuster.
Well, yeah. There was GoldenEye and there's Nightfall and there was another one.
Yeah, then the one who I've grown up with is Daniel Craig, but for me, like Sean Connery is the number one Bond, though.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%, 100%. I've always enjoyed those movies. I like them. I need to watch them again. Like, I mean, I feel like there's so much I need to watch again at this point that it's like it's so difficult to even watch one thing.
I'm trying to get Elmo into watching older movies because I really want him to enjoy older cinema.
Yeah, older cinema, man. I'll tell you this. So many a decade ago, actually, when I worked at the theater in LA, we would do the cult movies and I would watch the old prints. That was my job. So like, I understand new movies and like wanting to see new movies, but there's nothing that really beats like watching an older movie on 35 millimeter. I know you're not going to get a lot of that now because it's all digital, but still seeing those older movies, the ones that are great, they stand the test of time, like hands down.
Citizen Kane is going to look great in 4K.
I know, but that cover is shit.
I know. Just a K.
It's just a K.
I showed my dad that. He's like, "What movie is this? K?" I'm like, "No, it's."
I'm just gonna go to Best Buy and put them 3 together side by side and be like, "What you doing, Best Buy? What is this fucking coded language, huh? You bunch of racists."
Do they sell Criterions at Best Buy?
I don't. I don't.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Fuck them too. All right. Like they overcharge for everything.
Except for on the Criterion sale, which is November and July.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind for this November because we're already past July.
Yeah, I'm going to go broke in September through December because they're releasing a whole bunch of Hong Kong films, Criterion films, and like Eureka films. So I'm like, I don't have any money for any of this.
You know what? I get emails from Zavvi all the time, and they're like, "Hey, have you seen this 4K Ultra Special Edition of Harry Potter? And it comes in a Hogwarts train set." And I'm like, really? Y'all need to eat my ass. Like, fuck you. You know, like
all those John Carpenter 4Ks that came out. I'm like, why'd you do it now?
Yeah.
I want them all.
I know. Like, it's because that's the thing. It's like when it comes to 4K, the older films look better in 4K than newer films. And it's just because of the you know, of how the transfer and everything else in the process. I just think it's all great stuff.
Elmo talking about my debt in the chat.
Wait, what? You're already broke. You're $2,000 in debt.
Hey, I paid it down to 1,000. So
okay, yeah. What's going on, Elmo? Like, why you out here shaming your boy? Shaming your boy? Don't do that. That ain't cool. I mean,
I'll file bankruptcy.
Wait till you're older.
I will.
Don't file bankruptcy. It's not a good idea.
So are you still able to do that thing next Friday or no?
At this point, yeah, the Mikey Sutton thing. So what we're talking about is, and that's actually great segue. What we're talking about is watching a whole bunch of Hong Kong trailers. So here's what we're going to do with that. We're going to do it. It's not going to be a live stream, okay? But it is going to be over on cast. Was it cast.cc or cast. It's like it's a castapp.co. I will link to it. Okay. So it is a service for watch parties, and I can send you guys the link and I can post it wherever. And I might do a bit of an intro. We'll do a stream, get people in, and then I'll drop the link. We'll head over there. That will be off stream. And then you just give me a list of what you want and I'll just bring it up and we'll watch them. It's for watch parties. It's for YouTube and a bunch of other services. This way we have the ability to work together. We can watch it together and we can talk about it. We can react to it together, and it's not going to be worried about getting content ID claims or shut down or anything like that. And that way we can still do everything else. So that's, I was actually on the phone today with Mad Max the Mandalorian about that for like an hour, trying to find a good alternative to being able to host watch parties.
Is it cast with a K?
Yeah. It's I'll drop the link in the chat. Yeah, no, because it's there you go. Because Kira here is like no DMCAs. Well, here's the thing with that. It's not a live stream. It's not recorded. So it's gonna be what you see is what you see. It's not gonna be recorded. It's for watch parties. And we were talking about that the other night about doing watch parties and stuff. So I was out there trying to find places to have the conversation. So
yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff lined up for that.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll definitely do that next week. Again, like the Mikey just kind of hit me up. It was a, kind of a last minute thing.
I'd rather listen to Mikey though, too.
You read listen. No, I think Mikey was great. That was a great conversation tonight. I'm very happy with it. So,
yeah, I saw your live streaming randomly tonight. I was like, oh no, you broke your promise.
I was not going to. He hit me up. I was not going to. He hit me up. But you know what? I'm glad I did. I am hoping tomorrow to actually be able to play a fucking video game. That was kind of my goal for tonight. I'm like, I just want to sit at home and I'm like, I'm going to download Hades for Xbox. I'm going to give it a shot. And then, you know, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to go live at 10? I'm like, fuck. All right, fine. You know, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not complaining. It's a lot of fun. But all right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go. I got one more guy to get to, and then I'm gonna wrap this up and get to bed. Or wrap. Right. Well, I'm gonna finish it up. I got some command unit has us to watch a 40K thing. So.
All right, I got one last thing to say.
Yes.
Elmo, I'm coming for you tomorrow.
Oh. You gonna world star him?
Yeah.
World star. World star.
Kermit v. Elmo, Donna Super Chats.
Oh, there we go. There we go. But remember, streamelements.com. No 30% to YouTube. I'm just putting that out there. It is a killer. But yes, anyway, thank you, Kermit. We'll definitely talk again soon. And of course, next week we're gonna do that.
All right. Thanks, Matt. See ya.
Thanks a lot, buddy. I really appreciate you coming on by. Thank you. All right, real quick here. Command unit here with 15 shekels says a great Russian spy TV show set in the late 40s. America the Bomb by Star Media. It's free on YouTube with English subs. The trailer is 100% copyrighted. Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's why doing the watch party over on Cast App will be pretty good for being able to watch stuff. It's not going to be streamed, so obviously it's not going to be. I might record the audio and then release the audio as like a podcast, maybe for the like patrons or some shit. I'm still figuring it out, but that's kind of where things are going. I as always, I want to make sure like we can have conversations and we can talk here, but you know, I got to start building towards the future. So, all right, finally tonight, guys, let's talk to Artie McFly. He's been waiting a while. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, I've been a big fan since your early days in the channel. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing all right. I'm hoping. Are you talking like the Mundane Matt stuff or like $3?
Yeah, man. Mundane Matt. That was my go-to for like internet, like no offense, but internet drama or internet go-to of what was going on.
Yeah, I was an idiot back then. Like I thought to myself, like, because here's the thing: there's some shit going on today that like I would fucking love to talk about, and it's like because it's with people that I fucking despise. And it's really funny. Gee. It's really funny, but I'm like, I can't go back to that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
no, dude, I completely get it. It gives you the headaches. You're putting yourself out there. There are going to be folks from the other side who are going to be calling you out. He doesn't know what he's saying. It's really unnecessary, man. And I kind of, to be honest, to kind of gush with you a little bit, man. I love what you're doing now. You're doing great. And
thank you.
And it's very much like, hey, we're just talking about nerd shit, man. Even though obviously nerd stuff can get drama-ish here and there, it's just something more fun, man. It's something to talk about. Just chill and have a good time. Nerd out about movies and shit.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Like I know, like last night we went off on this whole tangent about Afghanistan, which is like fuck. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go down this path. But then I'm like, screw it. It's my show. I'm gonna do what I want.
Right.
You know, but that's kind of the whole thing. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to have conversations. And it's like, I get a lot of requests all the time for like Boulder Talk Radio, but I can't, going back to that is like something that I kind of like toy with in the back of my head, but it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
It's as nice and a good idea as you can have. Unless you're 100% like gung ho gonna do it, it's probably not the best choice.
Yeah, but this whole thing is definitely a lot better, you know. And so
I agree.
I have a lot of fun. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this. I mean, I like doing it. I kind of probably do it maybe a bit more or a bit longer than I should.
To be fair. No, man, nah. I can clearly see, and I'm sure everyone else here, why they're here. You clearly have a passion for this stuff, man, and I see it, and it's cool. It's a breath of fresh air that, unfortunately, not many. I'm not saying not everyone, but not many show that, and I'm happy you're one of them. Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I do agree with you. I think and it's not just like. There are a lot of people, like the people that I normally stream with, like, you know, like RJ and Anna and Saggy and people like Enosh and Max and everything. Like, you know what, we'll talk about like shit. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are just really into wanting to nerd out, wanting to geek out. And there's this whole side of the pop culture fandom that's just like, it's this QAnon bigoted nonsense. And it 100%. Doesn't have any basis in fact or reality, but people believe it because it's part of confirmation bias and because they've been, you know, conditioned to believe this stuff. And all I want to do is like, just go like, hey, y'all fucking see this movie. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And just go have fun. Like, dude, you kind of speak in what I'm like going for nowadays with films. Like, I was one of them too, man. I was like, oh, that movie's dumb because that director said this, man. You know, whatever, right? Yeah. But to be honest, at this point in my life, it's just like, I just want to watch stuff, enjoy it, not get off political too much about it, obviously where it's fair to do, and just have fun. Just find something to enjoy and roll with it and just have a good time.
Oh, no, you have to.
Always
like,
be negative.
You have to. I mean, like, there are times where it's like, you know, like when that whole Doomcock blow up thing happened, like last month, I was laughing because of course I'm going to talk about it.
Right.
But what cracks me up the most is like, you know, is just like people got a kick out of it. And then I've thought like, okay, like, you know, I'm always kind of grappling with things in my head. And I'm like, you know, would it be funny to like watch one of those videos and like react to it? Maybe sometimes, but I don't need to do it all the time. And like I'm very much like a fact based as much as I can be individual. So like I like to have like, if I go to prep a show, I will literally sometimes have like 15 tabs, you know, like ready to go. Yeah. And it's like information that I can pull from because I like to be informed. I like to inform people, but then like there's so many times where I'll have shit planned and then like the conversation just like, you know, goes off into this territory where I'm like, well, shit.
Now you're in the uncomfortable spot of like, I said this wrong. Uh-oh.
Oh, dude, I put out a video like last year saying that like the Loki show was a bad idea. And like, I forgot about that. And like people were messaging, like commenting on it and they're going like, really? And I'm like, hey, I will fully admit I was wrong. I have no problem admitting I was wrong on something, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like
it's kind of like a on the spot take, not to interrupt you. I'm totally rude.
Yeah.
But it's very much like it's your moment, your thoughts, and you kind of want to capture that and put it out there. Again, people have had bad takes here and there about stuff, but when you're wrong, and you admitted it. So it's almost like, hey, Matt's willing to change, man. He watched it, he gave it a shot, and he loves it. You know, that's what I feel a lot of people don't do.
Yeah. No, they don't. They really don't these days. A lot of people pre-base their opinion on everything. And I like, the thing is, I get it. It's not hard. This stuff is designed, the advertisements, everything is designed to like get your attention. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And there are trailers that are like horrifically edited, you know, that are just like nothing about this is going to be very good. There's movies that are horrifically edited that cuts out like a lot of the emotional resonance that you might find in some of these scenes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, but we also look at movies from just a thumbs up, thumbs down perspective, right? And that's kind of about it. Like anything less than a 7 is viewed as being like terrible.
It's the rating system, man. That's kind of what conditioned a lot of folks to feel. Like if it was the 5-star rating, anything 3 or less is like, ooh, don't touch that. You know, like it's kind of unfair for the folks who work their butts off into a project that hopefully someone will watch and like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very unfair. But I feel like people should be more open-minded. That's
and that's kind of the way that I see it, just because like I look at it and I go, okay, so what you've got is, you know, 15,000 people will work on one of these movies. It's a lot of people. You know, that's a lot of people. Like not everyone is, you know, going to have the same belief or the same upbringing or whatever. But the thing that people tend to forget the most is like, it's, you know, like the joke when I lived in San Diego and I went to filmmaking groups there, it was like, there's no I in filmmaking. Yeah. And so it's like everyone kind of adds something and, you know, we put it on like 5 people. And it's like,
you put it on the big bosses who are like the names that are the most talked about of the project.
Which is kind of the point. It's a risk versus reward thing. Like if, you know, I mean, I've heard J.J. Abrams say like when like certain shows of his have done well, people will give him all the praise, even though he didn't have much to do with it. But then when the shows do bad, he'll get all the criticism, even though he didn't have much to do with it. So it's kind of like it's a hit or miss. It ebbs and it flows. It's obviously how these things kind of play out, and that's fine. I just think like when for me, you know what it is, man. When I go to a movie, when I watch a movie, I want to be entertained. Like I have watched Pirates of the fucking Caribbean like 65 times in theaters.
Do that. Damn. That has to take dedication.
Well, no, because I worked at a drive-in and we had it playing twice a night for 11 weeks with Finding Nemo as its co-feature. So I watched Finding Nemo and Pirates of the Caribbean a lot that summer, and I still love Pirates of the Caribbean. Because like my friends and I would sit there. This is the thing, my coworkers and I were all movie lovers. So we'd sit there and we remember the movie The Core with Hilary Swank?
Yes, I do.
Right? It's a ridiculous fucking movie. But like it was like four of us and we're sitting there watching it at my car, the four of us who worked there, and we're watching this movie. And then we start talking about like the science of like how this whole thing would work out. But here's the thing. None of us are smart. We're all fucking stupid. But it was like a bunch of nerds sitting around going like, well, you realize that if like this thing is hard enough to go through the lava, they could, I mean, it's like the pressure systems and it was the stupidest conversation we've ever had. But it was also fun because in the context of having that kind of conversation.
Of course.
That's
all what it's about, man. Just entertainment.
Yeah. And that's really all what it boils down to. That's how I like to play this stuff out. That's how I approach everything. Cause I want to be entertained. I don't see a point of going into something and going, harumph, this is going to suck. Now there's times where it happens because there are movies that look terrible. But it's at the end of the day, it's like, if I have a negative reaction to a movie, like I did with, let's say, The Last Jedi or like Wonder Woman 84, there is a fundamental fucking flaw in that movie.
Oh, of course.
Because it's like, I will like everything, like I will like a lot of stupid shit. And I'll talk about liking a lot of stupid shit. I still fucking hate Twilight. That's not going to change. But
I do too. I'm right with you there, man. I cannot change my mind about it.
I try to find the positive, and the positive is simply this: without Twilight, we probably would not have gotten Anna Kendrick.
I'm going to give you a slow clap that you cannot hear in the background.
There we go.
Because that's exactly how I feel. Find something to have fun with. Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, look at like Transformers 2. That movie is god awful. It is. It's bad.
No.
But it's also like, you know what? I can laugh at the two freaking idiot robots and the fact that they put gigantic balls on a fucking Decepticon. But but the craziest thing about all that, what really took me not, I don't even want to say out of the experience, but just really made me question the direction of Michael Bay. It wasn't any of those things. It was the fact that it was the railgun. It was the railgun on the fucking Navy battlecruiser. It was like,
oh no.
It was like they're targeting it, you got John Turturro right there and he says something on the walkie-talkie and like it just cuts to the boat and they've got a fucking rail gun and they fire it off and it takes out the big guy. And I literally just kind of sat up in my seat and just went like loudly, they have a fucking rail gun. And like
this was there for how long?
Like when did they get a railgun? When did this happen?
Strong enough to take down a whole fucking Decepticon? Come on, man.
Like listen, I can suspend disbelief enough that an alien race of sentient, like Transformers can come to this planet, befriend Shia LaBeouf, save the world a couple times, whatever. Fine, cool. I can even suspend disbelief enough of robot fucking heaven. All right, fine, whatever. Cool beans. But it's like a railgun on a Navy ship. What the fuck are you doing?
It was Battleship before Battleship, man.
And here's the thing. I like Battleship too. Battleship is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not. I'll say for me, it picked up. I'll finish this point and then I'll go to what I wanted to talk about and then we'll be done. That movie picks up when they get the OG veterans to pilot the OG battleship. That was fun. That was cool.
That was a good montage. That was a good montage. What was the song they played? I think it was AC/DC. It was an AC/DC track, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
During that scene? Like, yes, I enjoyed Battleship. Like, I legitimately did. Like, the whole subplot of the girlfriend with like the army, the veteran with the missing legs, and like he literally like on foot battles an alien. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Because cool. the weekend that came out, I saw, what was it? I saw The Dictator that weekend, which was terrible. Sacha Baron Cohen. I saw Battleship like the next day. The day after that, I went to go see Dark Shadows, which was also terrible, but that was free, so I didn't care as much. And then the day after that, I saw Cabin in the Woods. So like, cause I was living in LA at the time. And so that was, again, like movies are just kind of what you go and do in Los Angeles. It's very often you go see films, but it's like, I'm like the best movie. Well, Cabin in the Woods was the best movie of the weekend, but like Battleship was up there too. I really liked it.
Yeah. It felt like they kind of did something that was kind of offhand, but it worked. That's how I feel about that moment.
Well, it was Peter Berg. It was Peter Berg emulating Michael Bay. And it's like Peter Berg is a far better character director than Michael Bay. But he can do some stuff that I like as well. Real quick here. Command Unit says Speed Racer is the best example. I think he's referring to, you know, people hating on a movie before seeing it. Speed Racer is the shit. Is the shit.
It's a fucking good film, and no one gives it the attention it deserves.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You know why that is? Because you know what opened a week before?
Go ahead.
Iron Man.
Oh man!
It opened a week after Iron Man, and then it opened 2 weeks before Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, it got that movie and Chronicles of Narnia: Prince Caspian. That was the week after Speed Racer, and again, Prince Caspian is like a winter movie because like those kind of epics do better in the winter. And then they released it in May for some reason. Like, you fucking idiot! What are you doing, Disney? But then Speed Racer, I think, also would have done better coming out in like the fall. I think it would have been better because it was so bright and vibrant, and it felt like kind of a summer movie.
It would have fit more in the vibrant setting of the season. Yeah,
I think so. I think it would have done better in the fall. That's, you know. But again, when I saw Speed Racer, I was like, for one, I'm like, this movie looks kind of stupid. Just a trailer of it, and then I'm like, oh, it's from the Wachowskis. Okay, cool. I mean, I obviously love the Matrix movies. And then we got it at my work. We got it at the drive-in, and we watched it. I'm like, fuck, this was good.
Yeah, you know? it's very well done.
It was one of the, I think it was like the first Blu-ray that I ever rented. When that came out, it was like the first one that I ever rented. Yeah, because I just got a PS3 at the time. And so I rented it from Redbox. I rented Speed Racer. I went home and I watched it, and I was like, fuck yeah. I own the goddamn thing now. But yeah, Speed Racer is fantastic. Hold on. Melissa Lord here says, good stream, Matt. # go Gators. # it's great to be a Florida Gator. Well, I mean, hey, listen, you got to find a reason to be happy to be in Florida.
All right. So the whole point, or I at least hope to talk to you, Matt, which thank you for giving me the shot. They've been dropping hints of Heir to the Empire in canon since like Rebels, obviously with Thrawn there. We get mention of the mountain. There's a mountain from that Joris Sabayoth character, the evil Jedi or whatever that we read about.
Yeah.
He's a major player in the book.
Okay.
And Thrawn manipulates him into helping him. And that's how they like kind of top over Luke. You know, I'm not going to say more. But in the book, there's the mountain where they find him is called Mount Tantus. And that's the mountain that we see at the very, very end of Bad Batch.
Oh, okay. Because I had heard someone mention Tantus, but I didn't know specifically what it was.
It's like it's the Emperor's personal like vault for plans and secrets and artillery, excuse me, that he stored away in case.
Nice.
So, and in the book, Thrawn finds him, convinces him to help him, and has the new cache, a new stash of Star Destroyers ready to take on the rebellion, or the New Republic at the time. So I don't know, man. I'm so down. I'm so down for a book. A movie or a series, whatever.
I think it's going to be a series. Yes. I mean, obviously, look. I mean, we know now that Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch. I mean, they're all part of the same timeline, right. and they have no problem moving over from animation into live action. Mm-hmm. So that's going to work out pretty well. And then bringing in those characters, I mean, or at least bringing in those ideas, setting them up in Bad Batch season 2.
Right.
It's kind of like Star Wars Resistance. Did you see that show?
I never watched it, but from the videos you've mentioned here and there, you intrigue me about it, and I definitely want to see. Like, you know, when I get to it, I get to it, but I do want to check it out.
It's an easy enough watch. Watch. It's just when you get to the latter half of season 1, when they start, because, you know, they do, it's a standard like 22 episode, you know, kid show on Disney. There's a lot of exposition that doesn't always need to be there. A bit of it could have been trimmed up, but overall Resistance is quite good. The first season, at least, I haven't seen a lot of the second season. Every time I try to sit down, something always comes up.
I gotcha.
But they start, like, Poe Dameron pops up quite a bit in the show, and it is voiced by Oscar Isaac.
Oh, nice.
And Captain Phasma pops up quite a bit, also voiced by Gwendolyn Christie. So they try to they were really trying to, like, expand out a little bit, you know. But they start investigating like what's going on with Starkiller Base, and like what's, you know, because the season ends with the end of The Force Awakens.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, you know, you see Hux's whole speech, you know, as they get ready to take out the other planets. So like they obviously were trying to tie that in anyway. I mean, you know, this is the whole thing. Filoni is like, he's the master universe builder, dude, in my opinion.
He is the one who deserves all the keys to the kingdom, man. He was trained by George. He knows what he's doing, and he keeps heart to what George told him when you know, George moved on from the company. These stories are made for kids, and they're made to inspire hope in the most dire situations.
Yeah.
You know, like, even though I sort of go back and forth whether Star Wars is really for children, I see his point. I really do. It's meant to inspire. Hell, why did episode 4 do so well back when? It's because, kind of going back on your earlier points, the collaborative effort of everybody, not only George. It was his wife. It was Gary Kurtz, sorry.
And then they saved it in the edit bay, and that happens a lot in these movies as well.
Didn't they win the Academy Award for Best Editing?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. Like,
or no, they might have got nominated.
Might have been nom. Yeah, it might have been. I think he won. I think Williams might have won Best Score. I think, but
right.
You know, there's a lot. The whole point though is that Star Wars is definitely for a younger audience, but I think that anyone can enjoy it. And it is clear that while it is aimed at a younger audience, it still deals with like complex themes and darker themes. And there's and if done right, it's like that was kind of maybe the problem with Star Wars Resistance, is that it was like a really bright colored show, and it was dealing with like the you know, it's also kind of framed like it was a Disney XD show. So it's going to be for kids. Like, it's really aimed for kids, but it did develop a pretty solid fan base during its first season and second season, I think, because, but here's the thing with that is they got, like, before the release, I think, of the second season is when they announced that the show would not be continuing, that would be the final season. And that, I think, ties into my thought process of how Galaxy's Edge kind of fundamentally backed itself into a corner, because they dropped $1 billion on both parks, and they're trying to sell us on a rivalry between the Resistance and the First Order that is over. And it ended 6 months after the park opened, after the land opened, at least in Disneyland. You know, it didn't open till later in the year for Walt Disney World, but that's the whole point, is that they backed themselves into this corner. It should have been about the rebellion versus the Empire. That would have been better. And it would have been something that I think, you know, sold the idea a bit more, but they just...
Right. I feel like they were putting all their eggs in this one basket that hopefully everyone will be happy with that last movie and they could keep going with that era. Yeah. But I agree. I pretty much agree with you. They need to rebrand into original trilogy, especially Mandalorian. What's going on there? Come on now. That's the big hitter. And of course, when Ahsoka comes out, we have to see Ahsoka at the park. That's a must.
Well, Ahsoka should have already been at the park. Like,
oh yes, absolutely.
Mando, Grogu, you know what, doing you know,
could it have been
Moff Gideon.
Awesome. But wouldn't it have been? Oh yeah, Moff too. The Moff is cool. Wouldn't it have been cool if, like, at select times in the park, if you just go at the right spot at the right place at the right time, we see Luke.
Yeah, that'd be cool too, man. Like, I mean, if not only that, but like, where's Bo-Katan? You know,
the Mandos. Yeah, we could have set. They need to hire us.
I'm just saying, like, they could have easily done something that was all, you know, they could have expanded upon it, but instead, like, they've tried selling us on this narrative, and this is maybe my biggest fear when it comes to, let's say, like the Galactic Star Cruiser outside of that ungodly fucking price, but. Right. The Galactic Star Cruiser is going to tell you a story, right? You're going to have the ability to, like, do branching narratives, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to some extent inside of Batuu. The problem, though, for what is going to be an immersive experience, they're not shutting down the land to let you in and have this immersive experience where you're not going to be bothered by the outside crowd, which is what they should do. They should really do that.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like, okay, so you're trying to sell me on Batuu, but Batuu is set like before The Force Awakens, and there's been a couple canonical books written about it. But again, it's like, people I don't think they want a new land. They wanted, like, Tatooine. They wanted Hoth. They wanted fucking Endor, you know? Like,
yeah, they wanted the iconic places from the OG stuff.
Yeah, and that's where I think, like, right now it's like they are probably realizing that they're like, crap, you know? Like, maybe we made a mistake, you guys. Maybe we did something kind of dumb here. With any luck, though, we'll be able to get something down the road that will go there. I
definitely hope so.
But hey, man, I'm gonna let you go so I can do this last reaction. My voice is starting to run dead.
No worries. Hey, thank you for giving me the shot. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man.
A mini dream to just talk to you, man. Thank you.
Don't even. Just call back anytime. It's all good.
Oh, awesome, man. Have a good one, man.
All right. I'll see you later, Artie. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you very much.
Bye. Have a good one.
All right. I wanted to get this one here from Command Unit. So we've got reviews bash Speed Racer. That's true. Reviewers are idiots. We know this. They're dumb. Dumb. And then we've got another one here from Command Unit here. 40K definitely isn't for children, but it has a comic series aimed at children called Warhammer Adventures. Well, you know what? Indoctrination is a real thing. Get them while they're young. All right. Out of Print asks, is anyone still excited about the Bad Batch? Is anyone still watching that show? Dude, the season finale was like last week. So yeah, people were watching the show. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, yes. Okay. Let's take a look here at the Battlefleet Gothic Armada, Abaddon the Despoiler introduction, as asked by a Command Unit there. I don't know what's up with that webcam bot. It's, if you see it, just ban it, you know? So that music band here is like, I got to catch up on Bad Batch. Yeah, you do, buddy. Yeah, you do. It's good shit. All right. And we will, we'll kind of end it with this thing here.
For 10,000 years, the Imperium of Man has endured under the rule of the immortal Emperor. The worlds of man are scattered across the galaxy, threatened by savage aliens, heretics who defy the Emperor's will, and horrors lurking upon forgotten worlds. It is a time of endless war, selfless heroism, and blackest infamy.
I see fortresses in the stars, a circle of 6, but they sleep yet and must be awakened. Ride upon the storms of chaos, gather your rivals around you. Send discord and terror throughout 1,000 worlds. Abaddon the Despoiler, War Master of Chaos.
Damn.
endless riddles. What are the fortresses in the stars? Answer me or die now! Stop this foolishness. I have consorted with creatures far more powerful than you. Speak, crone, but I will remember your insolence. Seek the hand of darkness. Take the eye of night. With these, the citadels will be yours to command. A chorus of 1 billion throats will cry your name in fear and hatred. The stars themselves will run red with blood. If you have the courage for it, War Master.
Damn. I don't quite know what happened there because, like, this stuff is... I don't know the lore, but you know what? It's crazy shit. It's crazy stuff. Even here says the Zerg. Look, yeah, there's a lot of cool cinematics. I think the only issue is, like, because I feel like it ties into this larger world that I don't know of. It's cool to look at, but it's kind of lost on me. But it's cool to look at. So thank you very much for the suggestion, Command Unit. On that note, guys, we've been running for about a solid 3 hours. I need to get to bed. My voice is very, very much almost gone. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's definitely a thing. I'd like to give a special shout out to Mikey Sutton for coming on in tonight. I really appreciate that. Everyone who called in, thank you guys very much. Everyone who supported with super chats, thank you guys again for keeping the stream afloat. Really appreciate that. I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I am going to be taking the night off. I'll be back on Monday night to cover whatever craziness is going to happen with the Spider-Man trailer. Although I might do a reaction over on Real Board. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what's going on with that one. Hopefully I can work on a Podio commentary tomorrow and get something like that ready to go for Monday. We'll see what's going to happen with that, guys. In the meantime, get to bed, get to sleep, play some games, watch a movie, have some fun, nerd the hell out, and we'll talk. I'm not going to Skyrim. I'm not going to Skyrim. Thank you, Melissa, for the 149 super sticker. Thank you very much. Rest well, O Boulder King. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best. Love you lots. I'll talk to you Monday. Have a great day. Enjoy Sunday.